Evening. Buyer's remorse. Buy a new car? I'll be moving in. Let's get started.
Sorry, I think there's been a mistake. I bought it from Carvana.
You what?
Yeah, great price. I even have 7 days to love it or return it.
So there's no...
No buyer's remorse. More like buyer's rejoice.
I guess I'll let myself out. Congratulations. I mean it.
Buyer's rejoice. Buy your car today on Carvana.
Limitations and exclusions may apply. See our 7-day return policy at Carvana.com.
Hey, it's 10 a.m. and this is Utah's best sports radio.
Say my name.
You're locked on to Scotty G and the coach, Tim LaComb, presented by Mountain Land Supply on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
By the way, this is the downside of the station barbecue, is the submission of receipts that have now been sent over to Lloyd.
Is that like
no
the
wonder
airing
you were
of
going
grievances?
to your office. You had some work to do.
I know, yeah, I had some work to do. Lloyd and I were walking in from the parking lot this morning, and
I got to go to my office.
And I got to go to the office. I gotta hunker down.
You're like 20 minutes out from showtime. What do you mean? What you doing?
It was about 40 minutes out from showtime.
It was airing of grievances.
But I also too Melissa. If you use the old P card and you don't get something submitted, Melissa's coming for you up in payroll. And so I did not – I actually met her the other day for the first time. And I was like, you know what? She is a lovely person. I do not –
Yeah, she is, absolutely.
Just the nicest, most genuinely nice person I've ever met. But sometimes we force her to be a bad person when you don't submit your expenses on time. You use that P card, she's the one responsible for it. So it's like, all right, I better get my receipts in.
Her job is occasionally to be the bad cop.
Yeah, exactly. And after meeting her, I'm like, you know what? She's genuinely not the bad cop. Like, I don't want to make her a bad cop. So I was like, I'm going to get my stuff sent in on time. So how about that, Lloyd? I am a model employee right now.
Now, if I could just get you doing your
that's all up to date too.
I know it is.
All my
Did you do the one
all
yesterday?
your security awarenesses and stuff like that up to date.
Did you do the one yesterday?
Oh, was there one that came out yesterday?
Yeah. Day one, I knocked it out, baby.
Look at you go.
Wow.
There are 14 days left yet, and I
right
did it
now
last
there's
night.
currently, and I'm going to give you a little bit of a break because you're new to this, but there's for sure two people that I can set my watch to that they're just going to. I'm going to get an email that says you have
past due
employees that are past due on trainings, and I'm like, well, Scott Garrard and Jake Scott.
I was going to say it's Mike 1 for this show and Mike 1 for the next show.
Yes,
which I learned
Scott Garrard and
numbers
Jake Scott.
to the mics. I tried to open the show with Alex at the same time, and Lloyd's like, "You're in 2, sitting in 2."
When I start getting emails from HR to remind me, it's like, okay.
What did you say about her job requires her occasionally be the bad cop, you said?
Yeah.
And yours is
always to be
constant.
the bad cop.
Always.
Yeah.
I just making sure we're clear.
No,
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And ours is to be
just the pretty faces of the station.
Yeah, our voices, your voice, not mine. Your voice and I think our comedic repertoire.
Yeah.
And your choices of music too.
Yeah,
as I've
Comedic
learned.
repertoire. Got another nice email last night, or a message. A bunch of you reach out. Thank you, saying how much you appreciate the show. Makes me feel good because this show's been humming for a long time. I just want to make sure we keep humming.
Keep the look. All we ask is we had ourselves a nice little Ferrari going. Don't grind the gears, and we'll be just fine. And you have not only done that, provided a nice little turbo boost to the. I
brought some nitrous.
A little Fast and Furious, a little nitros button, and off we go.
Yeah.
You ever watch those shows?
I don't.
I tried to watch a couple, and it's like...
I don't do well with meatheads.
Oh, okay. All right.
I mean, I see them across the way and say hello.
Vin Diesel and The Rock and those guys.
I would never go one of those Be a Man summits or anything that
they
have.
Yeah?
I wouldn't do any of that.
Alpha Con.
I'm very comfortable.
Let me teach you how to be a man.
What would not be an alpha? Beta. Beta is good for me. Thank you.
Well, like the old adage is, if you have to say you're an alpha, you're probably not an alpha.
Or go to a conference.
Or go to a conference, you're definitely not an alpha.
Okay, let me give you your alpha sticker. You are now an alpha.
Congratulations. You have now reached alpha. Give me your $499, and I will give you this I'm an alpha.
Now we have a follow-up program that will knock your alpha right through the roof.
Oh yeah,
and that's $12,000, but you get to come to the Bahamas with us.
Yeah, we're all going to be on a cruise ship.
We're going to
drinking Rusty Nels because whatever Lloyd drinks isn't allowed.
Rusty.
What was it that you got in trouble for?
A Hefeweizen.
Oh yeah.
Can't have that.
Because here's the
A
thing.
Heffy.
Where did he get in trouble for that?
Jake Scott, of all people. Jake is like apparently the most masculine drinker on the planet. And
I would have had no idea.
Threw Lloyd under the bus for not drinking masculine enough drinks.
The Heffy is not masculine enough. I was like, wait, what?
Okay. Duly noted.
Yeah.
I mean, the drinking thing for me was, never really much of a thing.
Hey, it's probably why I still have my liver.
But I did have a great story. A buddy of mine who didn't drink a lot went to Vegas, and he went with a bunch of guys. I mean, the old peer pressure thing.
Oh, yeah.
It's a business deal. They're all celebrating, so they pass the waitress comes up, what are you drinking? And he'd never ordered a drink in his life. So he's coming around to him, and he's holding his breath, and he's like, I'll have a Tom Collins. And the lady's like, I don't think anyone's ordered one of those since Dean Martin. I mean, he went to like a 50s movie and just threw something out there.
Just like old school manly drink. So
it's like, who?
A Tom Collins.
Who do we know at the table that's not a drinker? It's old Tom over there.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, we nailed it. All right, fun show today. By the way, Lloyd dropped a little breaking news on me during as we were walking down the hallway. Guess who's locked and loaded for the Ute preview show? Can we announce that? Are we okay?
Yeah, we're good to announce it.
Frank Dolce's back with us.
Yeah.
Back with us.
The human detour.
You and Frank probably have some stories.
Frank and I have done a few things together. He has a podcast that he does for his company.
Yeah, it's called Quite Frank.
It should be.
Quite Frankly.
Quite frankly. That would actually be a great name. I think I don't remember what it's called because it's part of their logistics company, but I did that podcast with him. We had a great sit-down visit, and I've got to know him through the years. And I mean, arrogant as the day is long, but what a good guy.
I don't know if I
think that's pretty well put.
Where the time slot of that's going to be, noon to 2, essentially.
Oh, with the new show.
Well, because which is, by the way, what he used to want to change it. He's like, can I just come in at noon? Remember, the show used to be 12 to 3. Yeah. Can I just do 12 to 2?
1.
Like, no, the show's 1 to 3. What are you talking about, Frank? But now he's demanding that since it's right at lunchtime, a pizza every week.
I'll go.
He's demanding a pizza every week.
I'll go get him a hot and ready. Although
Mr.
Italian.
Yeah, no, he's not.
Yeah.
I got home from the show last night. My wife was going to be gone for a long time. So, kind of left me to my own wiles. And I decided to order a pizza. I haven't done that forever. So I ordered a pizza and some wings and just sat there like a bachelor and ate them. It was great.
I forgot to bring in. I had some.
Oh yeah, thanks.
I forgot to bring in some barbecue for the two of you.
Dude just keeps telling us how that's so good. You guys got to try this.
No, seriously. Like I have stumbled onto the greatest thing ever.
It's post barbecue goulash.
Yeah, it's the post barbecue. Like at Thanksgiving, you have all these leftovers, so you just kind of combine them all into one. I took this mac and cheese. I took the pulled pork. I took the brisket. I took a little of this.
That brisket, bro. Are you kidding me on the brisket? Really?
Brisket was
like
good.
that first cut you made of that thing,
and it's just sopping wet. Yeah, it was great. But I included all that together. I put a little this all-purpose SPG, salt, pepper, garlic rub.
Hey,
a little sprinkle of that on there.
You got to know the euphemism.
I know, right?
SPG.
Yeah. And then I put a little drizzle of the barbecue sauce on there, a couple pickles, slices of pickles in there. Boom. Unbelievable. As good as anything we served that night. But I'm like, if I had a food truck and I could just dish this stuff out all day, I'd be like retired in
barbecue
no time.
Hash.
Barbecue. There you go. Barbecue hash. I think we're on to something.
Let's think about it.
I think I could make a food truck. Anybody need some help with a food truck? Let me know. I'll go sling. I always wanted to be a short order cook.
And me a sous chef, just you telling me I need some more of that SPG.
Honestly, everybody tells like, what would you be if you weren't in sports radio? I'm like, I'd either be a truck driver or a short line cook because I like to be alone. Like I want people.
You do like solace, don't you?
I do. I just like silence, because we talk all day and stuff. And sometimes it's just like, that's why I think I like the yard work. Just like put my headphones in, listen to some music and just focus in on the task at hand.
I love that. I wish I could do it. I'm not very good at that.
You are.
I'm like a
You are the
squirrel.
most socially incredible person I've ever met. Honestly,
I just like people, man.
Yeah.
And so if there's somebody around, I'm going to go chew on their ear for a minute. And we get speaking of chewing on ears, Ron McBride in studio today.
Are you kidding me?
No, 45 minutes of the guy.
Ronnie Mac hanging out with us. What time's Ronnie Mac going to be hanging out with us?
Noon, lunch hour.
Lunch hour. Mac, if you want to bring in some lunch, we wouldn't be upset
Pizza?
about that.
Go, we'll just
But
start
we're not-
demanding like Dolce.
We're not like Frank though. We'll take any kind of pizza. We're not.
Now, if you're getting pizza, the two places I recommend,
Yeah.
you fly one in from New York, or I can just hear his demands.
There's this place in Italy. Yeah. No. All right, let's get to it. Starting lineup 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
It's time to kick off the show with the biggest headlines of the day. This is your starting lineup on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
All right, Coach, I'm so sorry. I promised myself I wouldn't do this. I got to ask you one question. Like, did somebody in the Heat PR department, did they really screw up?
Yes, the answer to that is yes.
So you think he's going to Miami?
and I
and they
think it was
screwed
all
up?
set up to happen and everything.
And now they're going to have to.
Now they got to slow play this thing to get away from it. But it looked like yesterday that all signs were pointing to a decision coming pretty quick.
Yeah.
Little chatter of that. And then if you didn't see it, the Miami Heat social media.
Yes.
And social media for professional organizations always becomes a thing. Because when you have one person with all that on their shoulders, we unfortunately just saw it at RSL this last week, right?
Yeah.
Mistakes happen.
And
Things
it wasn't
happen.
even like,
It was just an oversight.
And that was just a real simple mistake.
Right.
Yeah.
Oversight. But those simple things can be whah.
Yeah.
This one got noticed really quick. Miami put it out that there was going to be a press conference to announce the signing of LeBron James. And then everything just went quiet. And there will be no decision today, and they are trying to get away from it. As I sat back and looked at it, there's something about him in his mind, Giannis and Bam, that I think is like, oh, wait, we can do this. So that's kind of been my lean, but we need to wait still to see.
So, look, there's a lot of inner workings that happen within a team. And there are a minute amount of people that will get a heads up on things so that they can be prepared. Right? Very small amount. I don't think Pat Riley pulled in the entire social media team and said, all right, guys, let's prep. Let's get ready. We're doing this. And that's why I think some stuff like this can happen, because when you put people that are really high up on the food chain in charge of things and they don't get their underlings involved, that's when the screw-ups happen. Because if somebody were to tell you or I, or even Lloyd, hey, we need you guys to be pumping out these social media videos with all the cool graphics and stuff that we're pumping out every day, we're not doing that. We've got a host of people in our department led by Madison Hinkhouse, who does a tremendous job. Maddie's awesome, but they take care of all that stuff. If we were asked to do that, we would screw it up. But the problem is they had to keep things so limited in the amount of people that were in the know that people that probably don't know what they're doing had to do some stuff to get prepared for this and accidentally hit the submit or go live button. I think it's a very plausible thing, because I've been part of situations where we want to be prepared. Like when the Rudy Gobert trade happened and the Donovan Mitchell trade happened, we had promos and all this stuff ready to go because we had heard that it was close. Now, we didn't know that it was officially going to happen, but we had heard that it was pretty doggone close to going down. So we were all ready with all of our production and all of the big voice guy and all this other stuff to go live with these promos that would run announcing that Donovan Mitchell had been traded, that Rudy Gobert had been traded. So it's immediate because we want to be prepared for it. That's what the Miami Heat are saying. Like, hey, look, we're just trying to be prepared in case something happens. But the problem is they put a specific time and date for the press conference.
Publish.
That's the problem. Like you go to CNN and they've got interns working on death notices on every celebrity over the age of 65. So that if that person does pass away, boom, they just insert a picture, the date, the time, push it out. It's done. That's just something that's just called good planning. being prepared. But nobody has the exact date of when that person's going to die because they shouldn't know when that person's going to die. These people can go ahead and prepare things as if LeBron James could be going so they don't get caught unaware, but they shouldn't know the time and date of that exact press conference. So that's what leads me to believe that, yes, he's going to Miami.
And then, you go back to the Giannis signing, and, Riley was pretty overt about saying, we're going to make a run at this guy.
Yeah.
And that was kind of on the table, but not necessarily on the table. So that kind of opened up everybody's eyes to the possibility as well. I think it's, at this point, it's only a matter of time. I think they do just need to distance themselves. And it is the inner workings. We used to sit in our offices knowing like a transfer of a guy was coming down the wire, right? Yeah. Or maybe a disciplinary thing that we had to handle. And, we just make sure that stuff got out and isolate in our offices for a few minutes. Always tried to release it Friday at 5.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The dump time.
If it was a good thing, probably Monday.
Oh, absolutely.
If it was a bad thing,
you want to.
Yeah, the Friday news dump.
You want to get rid of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's all sorts of inner workings and things that, as you say, you got to prepare for. But unfortunately, in this case, I think somebody uncovered the statue before it was unveiled.
Yeah. So I think, this is something that is probably going down. It makes a lot of sense. I think, look, just outside of Giannis and Bam, Miami's not a bad place to live, especially if you're a celebrity and money is not an issue. You're not worried about air conditioning. You're not worried about anything like that. Like Miami's a very enjoyable place to live. And
his family will not move. So, in essence, he'll be, trolling Miami by himself.
He'll be a bachelor, essentially, in Miami.
And that's a good place to be. I think back to the meme that's come of him that's in the pool, kind of looking up. This is my life. That's, to me, if I'm making the choice, I'm going to Miami. I'm going to Cleveland.
No.
I ain't going to live in Cleveland.
It's certainly not going to Minnesota.
Not going to Minnesota. Not going to the nation's capital.
Nope.
There's too much crap going on there. I think I would, I may even live on a boat for a year. Just go get a boat right there, docked a yacht or something. But I do think that's where he's going to end up. And obviously somebody in the Miami Heat social media department does too.
Does feel like, yes, that he is on his way, which, you know what, good for him. That it's going to be the East because I don't think he wants any part of the West. He wants to win at a pretty high level, which means East. Cleveland doesn't make any sense. And it just, it's Miami. It's going to be Miami.
And if you're looking at like prediction market odds, they've gone nuts since this.
Yeah.
Miami's now 49% of the people that have, staked their claim. Cleveland 28 and Golden State 14. Golden State once thought to be the real leader in all that. But I'm with you. I think there's way more to it. I think the basketball situation fits great. And for where he is in life, you wear shorts every single day if you're in Miami.
Yeah. T-shirt and shorts day.
And a bucket hat. He'd be in heaven. That'd be his spot.
You like the bucket hat, don't you?
I'm a big, big proponent. I bought one for the first time in Cooperstown.
Okay.
And I put it on, and I thought, but it grew on me. I like it. I like my buddy just went in. He's got all sorts of cancer on his face and stuff, skin cancer from the years of.
Yeah.
So that's the other nice thing is you get a little more protection.
You ever get stuck on, and Lloyd, I know you do this too, like weird rabbit holes on like Instagram where it's just like,
why'd you say I do?
No, I just know that
because you're constantly getting
things. You actually send them to me.
Your algorithm's whacked.
Yeah, you do have a funky algorithm.
I so do.
Mine's of all people just like dancing and being silly, and yours is like a lady driving into a bike race.
Mine is it's all
chaos.
over the map. It's everything.
Like I got stuck watching guys form cowboy hats or like fedoras. And I've sat there on the throne for hours watching dudes form cowboy hats, and they got the little steam thing, and they're forming up like, oh, this is a cattleman's crease, or this is a blah 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 fedora with the twist, and I'm like, I want one. Like, I want one
You would,
bad.
you would look good in a fedora.
But that's the thing. But then I'm realizing that they're charging like $800 for these fedoras to be custom made.
You don't need to buy a custom one.
Well,
Let's
I know,
start
but
with something. Let's training.
I don't
wheels.
know that I ever saw you go in the fedora route.
No,
the KG route.
But here's the thing. I never would wear it. Like, I'm watching this. I'm like, oh, that would be awesome to own. And then I'm thinking, wait a minute. I'd never wear that thing. Because guys who wear those things out in public are really, come on.
Oh, don't judge.
Oh, I don't know about that.
This is a judgment-free zone. Remember, we need to get back to being a judgment-free zone.
Yeah, come on. A dude walks
I
into
know.
a restaurant with a
went
cowboy
1
hat
week.
and fedora.
It went like 3 days, and we went right into a judgment zone.
Here's the thing. You know the people that walk in there.
But
and
we really need to be.
the people that walk
don't
in
disagree.
there carry it and own it,
Yeah.
as opposed to people that are like, hey, what do people think of my hat? Hey, you can see the difference.
I just don't.
And I'm into the people that wear it and live and that's them.
Honestly, I just don't think I could pull it off. Like, I just don't think I could
If
make
you
it work.
got one with the feather coming out and sat there at press row, I don't know if Logan would ever be the same.
I guarantee you, I would never hear the end of that.
But I think it is an experiment we should try.
But
I'm on the hunt for a fedora from a guy. And it's not going to be custom. I'm just going to warn you because I ain't going to shell out that kind of money.
nor would I ever. But that's just the thing. Like, it's like you can watch stuff on social media and be like, oh, right, I'm on board with this. And then you realize, wait a minute, no.
See that one right there? I mean, if that isn't you, this is the exact one I'd buy too. It's got a feather in it. I mean, dude, you imagine you walking into the conference tournament with that thing on, and they're like, oh.
I would get laughed at.
That's Scotty Garrard.
No, they're all going to laugh at you. Yeah, that would happen to me.
You can get one.
It could become your signature.
You could get one.
Hey,
in the,
you remember that guy? It makes you
blue.
memorable.
Oh, that's
that's tight.
blue. What's that, Lloyd?
It makes you memorable. So, you remember that guy from Utah State?
Yeah. Okay. We remember Kevin Graham in the fedora,
As
right?
he walked away, they're like, "There goes Mr. Fedora."
It's like, okay.
Did he wear one?
Yeah, because Kid Rock used to wear one, and he loved Kid Rock, and so he was like,
Still does love Kid Rock.
He does love him some Kid Rock, and it's just like, okay, let's not do that.
So Kev wears a fedora. Didn't know it.
Yeah.
Big fedora guy.
Yeah.
Yes.
97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Just getting things started. Hope you're all having a tremendous Wednesday. This is 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
The best sports radio in Utah is right here, right here. This is Scotty G and the coach, Tim LaComb, on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Okay, hold on here. So Lloyd takes the easy way out on his playlist and just goes.
We're not judging.
I'm not judging the music. I'm just judging
I'm
the.
actually already enjoying the stress that you guys deal with trying to not offend Tim.
So essentially, Lloyd goes on a playlist from a movie.
Yeah.
And so you just pull the soundtrack.
Soundtrack, yeah.
It's 3 words.
Okay, hold on. Hold on. So this is like what was the show Jamil was on?
It was Wheel of Fortune.
Wheel of Fortune. This is like Wheel of Fortune. Like you want to solve the puzzle this early on, or do you want to wait a little bit and take another turn?
No, I'd like to solve.
Go ahead and solve.
Dazed and Confused.
Ha! Nailed it. I was gonna move something back a little bit. I was like, he might get this quickly.
Yeah, I know that one.
That was fast.
I've been
Rock and Roll
dazed
Coochie
and
Coos been
confused
some
for so
other places.
long. It's not true. Great show.
I'll get you next time.
I did watch that
I'll get
one,
you next
but
time.
I do. That's a great soundtrack.
And I feel like you got help on the last one. I don't know if you solved that one. Me and Alex are both thinking.
No. I can verify he did not.
How would you know?
Because I was sitting right next to him.
Okay.
Like
not any help from text or anything like that.
Not that I did not see his phone, but I did watch. I was looking at his computer. You know, we were a Bar W, right?
Good.
This one's.
I mean, my gosh, the guy guessed Aqualung.
Sitting on a park bench. Speaking of park bench, guess what? I talked to the head recruiter at BYU.
Yeah, I walked in on that conversation.
In fact, I was like, "How you doing?" And this guy's like, "I'm great. How are you?" And then smiled. Yeah, you sit over there and be quiet. Justin Young is on his way to Italy right now. They just signed the big Polish kid, Urbaniak, and I talked to him about him for a minute. He was over the moon about this guy. 24 years old, totally seasoned, and a little bit smaller, for a center, but I think his physicality know-how will serve him well. So he's excited about him. They're still working on another ad, There has been, this thing laying out there that Jackson Kohler is, a shoe-in for that. And if you don't know Jackson, from American Fork High School originally, a Utah kid, played 4 years at Michigan State before the great Tom Izzo.
Yeah.
And didn't play right away and didn't transfer. He just kept learning, kept hanging out, became a very, very good player for them last year. And so there's some legal things that have to happen for him to be eligible. That's all being done, and I think there's interest perhaps on both sides, but not as close, I guess, as some have reported. They do have a little bit of a rogue reporter in Provo. I dealt with them a little too, that will just off the cuff, for their little blog or whatever, throw something out there to try to get out in front of things, and what it actually does is it screws you.
Yes.
So I'm glad I'm not dealing with him anymore. But they are still dealing with that. And so there's been a couple of those things that have intimated that it's closer than it is. So just wanted to give that. And then also next week, speaking of park benches, sitting on a park bench, he's going to find a little square in Italy.
Yeah.
And he's going to set up his phone. And we're going to do a visit with Justin from Italy and talk about BYU and what's going on down there.
So sitting on a corner, not in Winslow,
Not
Arizona.
in Winslow, but like in, I don't know, some remote part of Italy.
I love it.
Sounds like a good visit.
So that's not a team trip. That's a recruiting
trip. Yeah, there's Euro tournaments going on right now back there that he'll go take in, and they're on some really big dudes for 27. So very,
I'm
very,
sure.
very big dudes. One guy in particular told me about is same agency as Yegor Demon that they're dealing with, and that's a thing now. Same agency. It's sounding like the NBA. Clutch can open some doors for you with their guys, and I guess that's the same thing in college now.
Yeah. I'm sure that right now it's not just greasing the wheel. It used to be, everybody thought you grease the wheels of the kid, and then it was like, no, actually, mom and dad, in particular, mom is the one you really have to recruit. Now it's probably you got to go recruit his agent.
Oh, absolutely.
And so, yeah.
And how well do you know him? Have you done business with him? And the fact that they did and got Yegor through that, I think that's something that in negotiation and everything else will be a point in their favor. So it's fascinating to me to be gone from it since 2019 and have the whole thing. Like, I wouldn't know where to start.
Yeah. And it doesn't break your heart that you're not in it anymore.
Oh, I told Lloyd today, I'm the happiest I've been in my whole life, just sitting right here with you guys.
Ah.
Best job I've ever had.
And Alex, for sure.
Well, Alex more so.
Yeah.
I mean,
Absolutely.
He's actually got some talent, up-and-coming talent. The rest of us are just, we're just trying to make the most of what we got.
Yep, just trying to cobble it all together. All right, SEC Media Day, where they create their own news because they're the SEC and they get to do whatever they want. Kirby Smart. So now there's this rumblings that the SEC's ready to break away. Hey, we're tired of all this nonsense. We're just going to create our own thing. And everybody in the country's like, fine, go. Like the dude from Tombstone. Well, bye. And Kirby Smart says, no, we're thinking about it.
I've actually been saying that for a long time to our president and our administrators that, my frustration is I sit in a meeting and so many times I sit in a meeting, and I learned this, I think 11 years ago, my first SEC head coaches meeting. I had a coach tell me, we will not get anything done in these meetings because we don't have any power or any control. We sit and say what we want, but that doesn't necessarily come to fruition. So I've learned that, until we get governance and we have someone that actually has the power to make decisions, or we can make decisions within our own community, we're not going to have much control. And that's unfortunate, but that's where we sit right now. And if that's the best alternative to get everybody playing by the same rules, then I would want to do that.
So essentially you're like, so we don't get what we want, so we want to just form our own thing. Okay, so what you're saying is because there's a lot of people with varying degrees of interest in their own hopes and dreams and their own goals, because they don't ally specifically with you and you can't bully them into doing what you want, then you're very frustrated. Okay. Sorry. Again, go form your own thing then.
Did you ever play? So this is notorious in my neighborhood, but we played 2-on-2. There's two guys, 4 of us about the same age, and we divided up, and it was always myself and Rick. against Brent and Ron.
Oh, really? Hate those guys.
Yeah, they were just a nuisance. But things got hairy from time to time, and one of us would bring the ball, and there would always be a fight. Rick and Ron were brothers, so that was notorious. They fight all the time.
Yeah.
But at a certain point, it was like it got to the point where whoever's ball it was got so agitated, they'd take it and walk away.
Take your ball and go home.
And that's exactly what this feels like. It's a, it's a slap in the face to everybody else out there doing it because they're doing it uphill. I mean, SEC's been doing it forever, but they've been plateau. They're raised up by the circumstances around them, ESPN being a big one. It's no surprise to me that the minute that NIL enters the equation, the SEC all of a sudden starts losing spots in the national championship. I mean, it's been 3 years since there's been a champion from the SEC. So, when the gravy train was open, when the rules were all stacked in their favor, yeah, it was great, and that's what they got used to. But let's open this up and actually have this be a competition. Let's not reserve it for, you at Georgia, Kirby, to have positions that are 3 deep.
Yeah.
Legit 3 deep. And that's been the biggest change. The SEC's lost depth. A lot of these guys that were going to go willing to sit for a while because, mind you, before NIL, they were sitting there getting paid.
Oh, yeah. No, they were doing NIL before NIL.
Right. So the whole thing's been turned on its ear for them. And they're like, hey, we want the world back the way it was when it was so easy. And I think that's what everybody else is fighting against.
Yeah, and I think when they say they want governance, they want governance of their rules, governance that they want.
Yeah, they want to be parliament and have their king.
Yes,
right? And that's kind of what it's been. But now, what we're saying is no. Let's have everybody have advantage. Everybody get what they can get. And if a place like BYU can pay dudes, BYU is a blue chip school in basketball now. They just are.
Yeah.
In this new world, and I would even say football, they've taken a huge step because they're paying guys more now and they're growing that thing. So to me, the Blue Bloods, the teams that are succeeding in this new era, it's got to displace what was happening before because it was a completely different set of circumstances.
Now, speaking of the SEC, so we've got Ted Cruz, and he's got a bipartisan bill rolling through right now, hoping to get things. And this thing is massive in terms of its scope, in terms of roster size, in terms of conference realignment possibilities, revenue sharing, all of that. Well, you do have a former head coach that's Tommy Tuberville, who is now in Congress, and he has sent out a memo to all Republicans saying, look, Ted Cruz, I know he's one of us, don't support his bill. Don't support it. Now, remember, Tommy Tuberville's in SEC country. This is an SEC guy. So he's like, don't support that bill. I have one. And his is very narrow. And I actually don't hate it. I wish it was more. But essentially all it does is say you have 5 years to play 5. You get 1 free transfer. And that's it. It doesn't go after NIL. It doesn't go after in terms of conference size or realignment, revenue distribution. It just focuses on the ability of a player to transfer. And I'm a big fan of that. Like I think a kid should be able to transfer as many times as he'd like, but he's going to lose eligibility. Like you get 1 free. I don't hate that. And if your coach gets fired or leaves, I don't hate that you can transfer too if you'd like.
Should be that way.
But other than that, like you're like, oh, coach doesn't like me or I'm homesick or something like that. You can transfer, but you're going to lose the year of eligibility, just like the old days. Like you have to sit out a year, and I don't hate that at all. So I don't know if that has more likelihood of passing than Ted Cruz's bill. But there's people out there that are being motivated by their constituents, Tommy Tuberville in SEC country, like, hey, don't mess with revenue sharing. We don't want to do that. We don't want to. We want to make our conference as big as we want. So no caps on conference expansion. We don't want to mess with that. We like what we're doing here. But if you can keep these kids to stay at their schools and not transfer, we would really like that.
That would clean up a lot.
It would.
mean, it's crazy now when you're watching even summer league, and this era of guys. There's a guy that's been to 4 different schools, and it's pretty common, at least 2 to 3 nowadays. Very few guys stick around. So I think if they could clean that piece up, that would be massive. And the thought of that I like is when there's all sorts of rules, right? There becomes a whole bunch of digging in, spending the time, spending the money, legislating it all. If you can keep it pretty basic and just set parameters, like you've got 5 years to play, you can play 5. If they can pay you $1 billion, so be it. Who knows? I do think there's got to be some sort of equalizer amongst the schools.
Bless you.
Because, that's like, imagine the NBA without a salary cap. You'd be looking like Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
Right.
And year-to-year contracts.
Year-to-year contracts, right. Yeah. So, a lot to uncover, but I do like that there's momentum because there's people talking about it. I think the Sorsby thing maybe spurred that on a little bit. This SEC talk and all of the breakaway stuff has got to motivate everybody else to, like, we've got to figure this out. So hopefully, I'm not holding my breath.
All right, 1046, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone coming up next. What you may have missed, the great Ron McBride will step in studio with us at high noon. It's all right here on The Zone.
The biggest name.
You're locked on to Scotty G and the coach, Tim LaComb, presented by Mountain Land Supply on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Scott Garrard alongside the coach.
Man, good
Tim
song,
LaComb.
Lloyd. Whew, it's good.
That is really good. Why can't Scotty just like Lloyd's list?
I like your list.
That's
This is a
good
great
stuff.
song. Like I
Good
said, this
stuff.
makes me emotional because my kids, they'd be crying as babies. I'd hum this song to them, like, stop crying.
And see, it worked.
Please.
You're friends with all of them now.
Yeah.
Not just a dad.
Yeah. Sometimes I think I'm too much of a friend. Like, I got to, get a little bit more heavy-handed. Brody walks all over me now. And it's like...
We all know Jen does the heavy lifting on that, in that regard.
No, there's sometimes where she's the bad cop, I'm the good cop. I think she would think she's probably more bad cop than good cop. And it depends on the kid a little bit. I don't know. Parenting, guess what?
It's not easy.
You think you got it figured out. You don't. You never do. Even probably, Coach, even as an empty nester, you're like, I still don't know what
You're
the heck I'm
learning
doing.
every day. And as I said, you guys think you get them out of the house and you're learning. You got a married kid,
Oh,
They
yeah.
come back with needs that are bigger than a Band-Aid sometimes.
You're like,
That's when it was nice.
I have a picture in my office. I think I've told you this, where my kids were 12, 8, and 4. And I'm like, right there. Those were the solid days right there. They weren't expensive. If they could wake themselves up on a Saturday morning and make cereal, so they weren't, barking at you. They knew how to run the TV to keep themselves entertained. If something was hurt, they could tell you. It was like, if I could go back to that era, I would do it in a second, because I wasn't a big fan of the baby phase when you couldn't verbalize what was going on. And now they're old and they're expensive and complicated
And sometimes still struggle to verbalize.
Yeah,
what
well,
they're
that's true.
struggling with.
Yeah.
Starting to get smarter than you.
Yeah.
It's like, geez.
Yeah.
Well, they're lucky. I know that, to have a pop like Scotty G.
Nah,
Lucky kids.
They're lucky to have a mom like Jenny, that's for sure.
You said good cop, bad cop. Mine's just, I'm the cop and my wife's Mary Poppins. And she fixes most everything with a spoonful of sugar.
Makes the medicine go down.
Yep.
All right, what you may have missed right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Coming up here in about 30 minutes, we're going to have to change the channel because we got a heater. We got to continue to see if it keeps going.
Yeah, the Red Sox got rained out last night, going for number 15, which would tie a franchise record all the way back to 48 with the great Ted Williams. So franchise record 15 wins can be tied today against the Orioles at first pitch 11:45.
So, by the way, speaking of rainouts and weather delays, Lloyd, you were at the Days of 47, right?
Yes, I was. Day one of it.
And I had to wait a little bit for that one to get through.
Not as long as I would have thought. It was funny because all of a sudden we started to see some clouds coming over our way, and the rain started to come down just a little bit. And right away, me and Jessica run back and kind of get up against the upper stands where maybe the rain's not quite hitting us.
Yeah.
The kids, nope, they stayed put. They stayed there watching. They
got the cowboy hats.
They got the cowboy hats. They're good to go. They're gonna power through it. But then it just came down and the lightning, and so they had us. We're sitting underneath the bleachers, metal bleachers. Well, there's like lightning, and they're like, "Okay, well, you guys have to evacuate somewhere else. This isn't gonna work." So they evacuated us somewhere else. And you're thinking, we've seen rain delays, weather delays, like in football, Utah, at Michigan. I'm thinking, well, they're probably not going to 45 minutes usually. What's the rule of thumb on that?
It's got to be like 45 minutes between lightning strikes in a certain area. Yeah.
So I'm telling the boys, I'm like, well, I don't know if this is going to happen. Like, we just saw some lightning right there. No, I think we were able to get back out there by about 10. I think it was about roughly.
Nice.
And crowd, a lot of people had left, and we moved all the way up to the front, and it was spectacular. Temps were phenomenal. What an amazing event. It was great.
So you had everything like the bull riding and
everything, because they had only gotten in probably 1.5 events, probably right about, and so we got all of it.
Oh, that's
all
awesome.
of it in. Got the drone show afterwards, fireworks. I'll tell you what, that day's of 47, they do it right. That's fun.
Yeah, they don't skimp on that.
No, not one bit.
All right.
You should have got the boys into the mutton busting.
They're too. You know what?
They're
too old now.
Oh, too old.
Yeah. Apparently,
I love
Jackie Blue, he's 7.
Around.
I thought he'd be able to. No, I think it's like 6.
Wearing their cowboy hats out there. They did make the promo, I saw.
They did make the Days of 47 promo. It was pretty awesome.
Very nice. I mean, it pays to be Lloyd Cole.
They ride the bull. Yeah.
I mean, connections are everything in this
Absolutely.
world.
Hey,
life is good.
But let's be honest. You see those kids with the cowboy hats? They're made for that promotional video.
Oh my gosh!
Oh,
like it's not like they did you a solid there. like those kids scream rodeo.
Yeah, they look like they were going out to change the water out there on the north field.
Oh my! So we're leaving, and this young girl goes up to Jackson. We're sitting there waiting as Xavier's going to the restroom, and she goes up to Jackson and she goes, "I love your outfit."
Let's go.
And I looked, I was like, oh man. I was like, not that's too soon.
He'll come out of his room today in the same thing.
Oh yeah, he's not changing that forever.
As he's walking, he's like sitting over there looking over at her. I'm like, eyes forward, bud.
You know what he should have done? Just done like just grab tip that, like, ma'am.
Yeah, the cap.
Kind of the.
Thank you. Yes, the Phil Mickelson.
But in a good way. Yeah.
In a good way. Yeah. Yes.
Just like.
I'm telling you, cowboy in it, that is their element. They are urban cowboys.
All right, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. We continue our tour around the upcoming opponents for the college football season. Hey, let's stay in Big 12 country, Iowa State. We'll talk a little Cyclones next right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
The Jazz, the Mammoth, and the Utes, Cougars, and Aggies. When it comes to sports in Utah, we've got you covered. This is Scotty G and the coach, Tim LaComb, presented by Mountain Land Supply on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Scott Garrard alongside the coach, Tim LaComb. Coming up here in just a moment, we'll talk a little Iowa State football. Eugene Rapay, we anticipate catching up with him and talking a little Cyclones, see where they're at. Not just turning over a roster, but also a new athletic director hire, as Jamie Pollard will be stepping down, and that'll be an interesting development there as well.
Jamie, one of the outspoken ones, saying,
yes,
let him go.
You want to go? Just go.
But new coach, Jimmy Rogers, a whole new team. I mean, half the town left to go to Penn State. So this is going to be an interesting one, how they attack it. You know, it's not necessarily a rebuild. It's hey, we're here now. I know you've had a team, but now this is our team, and we're going to do what we can. It's kind of a weird deal, but like literally half the team left, And this is so whole new team, whole new location. But I'm excited to see what Jimmy Rogers can do. He's had success.
Coming off the Bull win over Miami and finished the year at 11-3, and they had just been cooking there at Iowa State. The year before that, not quite as great at 7-6, but that 11-3 season really showed that that coaching staff can coach. They can get things done. They started off the year 7-0 before back-to-back losses to Texas Tech and Kansas, and then rebounded with 3 straight wins, including a 31-28 victory over Utah. They did not play BYU last year. They did lose to Arizona State in the final game, and then ended up beating Miami again in the bowl game. So, that was 2 years ago. And then last year they were 8-4, coming off that win against Oklahoma State to wrap up the regular season. So this is a team that has put together 11 wins in 24, 8 wins last year, finishing off the year with that 3-game winning streak against TCU, Kansas, and then Oklahoma State. So, again, this is a team that can create a lot of problems. They did lose to BYU last year. Now, it was 2 years ago they lost to Utah. Last year they did lose to BYU 41-27. And, again, they started out the year hot, lost 4 in a row, and then ended the year with a 3-game winning streak. Helping us break it all down and what to expect out of this new team, new coaching staff, and soon-to-be new athletic director at Iowa State, Eugene Rapay from the Des Moines Register and the USA Today Network. Eugene, how you doing, man?
I'm great. Thank you guys for having me on.
Well, we're trying to preview a lot of teams around the Big 12 as we get ready for the start of the season, and Iowa State is a team that kind of that first title sequence in Major League where everybody's like, who are these guys? Because there's that element of just like, hey, new coaching staff, new team, high turnover, and that's going to happen in this day and age of college athletics. What have you been able to glean from this new crew at Iowa State?
Yeah, it's a completely different kind of year, different kind of era, especially when you look at Matt Campbell in recent years. When he was still at Iowa State, they actually had the lowest transfer rate since the whole transfer portal got revamped. So for Iowa State, you go from having plenty of continuity to now welcoming 82 new players, a brand new coaching staff, and like you mentioned, a soon-to-be new AD. And there's just so much. We don't know what to fully expect. We know that based on Jimmy Rogers' pedigree and what he's done so far, they're going to be very defensive-minded. We saw some of their new standout players this spring, but a couple of them did not suit up for their spring showcase. So there are still some unknowns here, but I'm curious to see how it leans. I know that they're going to predicate a lot on physicality and defense, and I'm curious to see how the offense will hold up. But, yeah, a lot of new faces, no returning starters on either side of the ball, and so it's going to be a brand new year for Iowa State.
What are your first impressions of Jimmy Rogers, a young guy, 39 years old, played football at South Dakota State, and the year after he finished, jumped into coaching, 2010, has been at it at different places, but certainly cut his teeth as a head coach. His record of 33-9 early on, won a national championship at South Dakota State. What are your impressions of Jimmy?
He's a straight shooter. This guy is just only interested in football. He's not really interested in the pomp and circumstance and all the pageantry. This guy is just here to hopefully win games and coach up the team. But he's a guy that, despite his youth and all that, he's confident in the rebuilding process. He went through something similar last year at Washington State. Took a team with very little expectations, made them 6-6 bowl eligible. They had some really close games down the wire with Ole Miss and Tulane. So they're feeling pretty confident that they can, based on their experiences last year at Washington State, they can carry that over to Ames as they do another complete roster overhaul. But it's going to be a whole nother ball game as going from a weakened Pac-12 to the Big 12. So it's going to be very interesting to see how much of that will carry over and if they're able to make that transition seamlessly. So far, they seem to have a lot of players bought in, which is what you want to see during the offseason. But once the thing starts to get tough, once the schedule starts to kick off, and it's going to be interesting to see if is that buy-in going to maintain when things don't go well or when things aren't going as planned, or are they going to be able to navigate those problems, those obstacles seamlessly?
So the one thing that I've really been impressed with Matt Campbell is that Iowa State is a city that you would, and look, the same thing. I'd call games at Utah State. We're here in Utah, so we understand the transfer portal thing can be very, very real. And his ability to hold on to players, as you mentioned, I thought was dramatic because there's places that might be a bit sexier than Ames out there. Again, no disrespect to Iowa. So the fact he was able to hold on to players and win at a really high level, is it the culture of Iowa State, or is there concern that was just Matt Campbell magic in a bottle and that he took it with him to Penn State?
Yeah, as someone who just got to the beat or just got to Ames approximately 3 years ago, when you hear from the players about the culture and all that, there was a part of me that thought early on, oh, this is just kind of coach speak, or this is just kind of PR training. But as I've gotten to be around Matt Campbell more and more of the players, I think there really was something to the culture that he built. And so I really think it was a little bit of A and B. I think Matt Campbell was definitely a huge driver. As we saw once he left, a bunch of those marquee players went with him to Penn State. I am curious, though. There is definitely a sense of camaraderie, the sense of community here in Ames that's different from other places that, like you mentioned, it's unique. It's small town. It's something that gives a lot of hometown pride to the people in central Iowa. But I'm curious to see are they going to be able to maintain that moving forward? We already see this massive roster overhaul. I guess we're going to need to see next year what it will be like, what the transfer rate will look like. But as of right now, I really feel like it was something that Matt Campbell was able to build over his 10 years in Ames. It didn't come easy. He found success in a spot that was not easy to recruit or maintain consistent success, and he left as the winningest coach in school history. Now you have a whole new era with Jimmy Rogers. Does that culture stay? Did some of it remain, or did all of it go with Matt Campbell to Happy Valley?
So what have you gleaned about how the style, the schemes, how Jimmy will play on the offensive side and the defensive side?
On the defensive side, they're going to switch to a four-man front, which we know John Haycock's 3-3-5. While it had a time and place and had success, one thing that Iowa State fans were clamoring for was more pressure on opposing quarterbacks, more sacks. And over the last couple of years, Iowa State was on the bottom of the conference when it came to creating sacks. So I think that four-man front is looking to change things up. They're bringing in Isaac Terrell, who led Washington State in sacks last season and was the Pac-12 Defensive Lineman of the Year. So I think that already is providing more excitement for Iowa State fans to just see, will this four-man front make a difference? Is there going to be more pressure? Is there going to be more physicality up front than what we've seen the last couple of years? And then on the offensive side of the ball, they're looking to be very run-heavy. They're looking to run it down. Tyler Roll is the offensive coordinator. He was in Ames 2 years ago as a running backs coach, went to the NFL for 1 year with the Detroit Lions. Now he's back as the OC. He wants to just run it down opposing teams' throat. For Iowa State, they're just going to keep it steady, predicate everything on physicality on both sides of the ball. And then for offense, they're going to mix in some play action or whatever it may be. They got Jalen Rayner, who is a dual-threat quarterback, an experienced player from Arkansas State, 3-year starter. So they feel pretty good about what they have on the offensive front. But when you have a lot of players who are D2 level or FCS, how much of that will culminate as they make the jump to the Power Conference?
Yeah, Isaac Terrell has called all of his games of his brother, who played tight end up at Utah State. He's a Lehigh grad here locally, and I know he's a dominant force. It'll be fun to see what he can do at the Big 12 level, getting after the quarterback. But, the thing that I look at in this day and age of college athletics, it all really comes down to money and in building a roster. Is the alumni base such at Iowa State that they can stay competitive in the Big 12? They don't need to lead the Big 12, but are they competitive in terms of NIL in the Big 12?
I think that they've gotten better with it in the last couple of years. I think that they've been catching up slowly and gradually with the times. I know that there has been more football money this year than years past, so it seems like they're trying to invest more into it. But in terms of the big cachet, I think that Iowa State is probably still behind or middle of the pack. Will it be enough? I don't know. I think Matt Campbell was a great negotiator in getting players to stay and invest, even if it meant taking a pay cut on their front. So I don't know if Jimmy Rogers will have that same charisma or have that same kind of pull with his players. But I think that it did really go a long way when you have Matt Campbell able to retain these guys, despite knowing they could go to the transfer portal, go to a Big Ten school, SEC school, make way more money and they still chose to stay in Ames. So a lot of that really went to the culture. So there's really a lot of unknowns here moving forward as Jimmy Rogers takes his first step into the Big 12 and Iowa State.
While the conference didn't do a preseason poll, there's been a lot of, amateurs out there trying it in different ways. But what do you anticipate as far as a win total for Iowa State this year?
I think that best case scenario will be bowl eligibility, 6 wins. And I think the floor is probably at 3-4 wins. I think it's going to be an uphill battle. I think there's something that needs to be said that, Iowa State last year had an 8-win team despite being injury-riddled and all that. And now you bring in a roster where a lot of the players are from the D2 FCS level. It's going to be a huge jump. Just looking at the offensive line from what I saw in the spring, they look kind of small, undersized. So I'm curious, they look good against each other, but what will happen when you're up against a Texas Tech or if you're up against a BYU or if you're up against these very physical Big 12 teams? So I think that for Iowa State, best case scenario will be bowl eligibility, and that might mean a lot of things going right. But I think it'll be more so a 3-4 win season for them.
I've always been a huge fan of your athletic director out there, Jamie Pollard. And I was a huge fan when he just flat out said, you know what, SEC, Big Ten, you want to leave, just leave. We're done. He's stepping down. Those are big shoes to fill. He's been there quite some time. I know that's going to be a heavy, sought-after job, but what are the early steps and what are the, ETA, the time process in trying to fill that void?
Yeah, he's been there for 20 years, has helped that athletic department change so much, especially with their recent success in recent years. I know that what they're hoping is to have a new AD in place by the end of the football season, but the search for itself probably won't start until next month probably next month. And they're hoping to have his successor named by basketball season. So it's going to be a very interesting process. I'm curious to see which way Iowa State can go. You can go many ways with it. Do you go with a savvy businessman? Do you go with someone with Midwest roots who knows what it's like in that area? There's lots of different ways that they can cut it up, and it's going to be a very interesting search for sure. Could they go internal? Are there strong internal candidates, or do they essentially want to go outside and bring somebody in with a fresh voice? There are a couple of strong candidates, I think, that are internal. I'm just curious to see if they would want that job or if they're looking, because they're also pretty close to retirement age too. So I'm curious to see if they actually put their hat if they throw their hat in the ring, or if they look elsewhere. As you look at the Big 12, obviously we're here in Salt Lake. What do you anticipate from what you've seen of both BYU and Utah? I think both teams should be pretty good. I look at BYU and Bear Bachmeier and what they've been able to do. Kalani Sitake is now the elder statesman of the Big 12, is the longest tenured coach. They've always impressed me, and Utah I think is going to be having a little bit of a comeback year, or a step up from last season, with a new era there with Morgan Scalley. So I am very excited. I think that both teams, whenever Iowa State did face them in these last couple of years, it was always just an all-out war. So I'm excited to see what those two are going to bring this season. If you were to, considering the Sorsby situation at Texas Tech and knowing their quarterback situation, would you still have them number one, or would you have somebody else as your preseason pick to win the conference? I'm a believer that they're still number one until they actually get knocked off, but I think that gap between them and BYU is definitely shortened a little bit. The Big 12, as we've seen in the last couple of years, it really is hard to predict. I know, like you guys mentioned, lots of amateurs have tried to predict the order of finish, and it seems like every year there's always a surprise or two. So I don't think that Texas Tech has as strong of a hold as they did last season, and I think BYU coming up should give them a pretty good run for their money. How is with the teardown? I mean, it might be one of the biggest teardowns in college football history, as you mentioned, the number of guys that left. How are the fans? How is the morale there because it really was a healthy football situation? Sure, they want to continue that. Is there an anticipation there to kind of see what this looks like? There's both a curiosity, a healthy curiosity where, there's still the excitement of the unknown. Like, let's get behind the guys who stayed, the the 40 or so players who stayed, 21 scholarship players from last season who stayed, the support Jimmy Rogers in his first year in Ames. But then there's also the other side that I think is a little bit louder, where there's a lot more skepticism, a lot more doubt, a lot more uncertainty whether or not fans want to renew their season tickets or not, just based on what I've seen from social media and some of the fans that I've spoken to in person. So I think there's both sides of the spectrum there. I do think that it'll lean towards excitement early on, but if things get rough or things get tough for Iowa State, I think that fan support is going to drop off big time.
Well, Eugene, we appreciate it, man. Thanks for hanging out with us. Look forward to catching up with you again down the line. Football can't get here fast enough, man. Let's get this thing going.
Oh, I know. It'll be here before we know it. And thank you guys for having me on.
You got it. Eugene Rapay, Des Moines Register, and the USA Today Network right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. I love guys that don't necessarily just paint like the rosiest of pictures. He's like, hey, look, yeah, this team could start out hot, and they've got a preseason schedule that's not great in terms of high power. Of course, they've got their yearly game against Iowa, but other than that, a bunch of pushovers, so they should be able to stack a couple wins right out of the gate. But then they open up Big 12 play against Utah, and Morgan Scalley is going to want to make a big statement in that game, and it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. But it could be a long year there in Ames.
No doubt. And I was looking at a continuity table that ESPN published about the Big 12. 45% return production. That's ranked 102nd in the NCAA. They have 13 returning starters this year. So it is an uphill climb. But I like what I read about Jimmy Rogers.
I
like
do too.
what he just said about him. So we've seen guys come up from lower levels. He had 1 year at Washington State and got to a bowl game. So we'll see what he can do.
And that situation at Washington State was not
good at all
last year.
No. I mean, that was basically you're playing in a swamp. You're in the college football swamp. Nobody wants you. You're kind of hanging out there. And definitely for him to win 6 games, get to a bowl game, and like I said, in his other stint at South Dakota State, he won a national championship. So he's used to winning.
97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Scott Garrard alongside the coach, Tim LaComb. A little good, the bad, the ugly coming up. And then at high noon, gather around the radio, folks. Some guy named Ron McBride is going to come by.
We'll just let him talk.
That's you will learn very quickly. That's all we do, is we just get out of his way and let him do his thing. And more often than not, it's always entertaining.
I think he's earned that right.
Yes, that is absolutely true. This is 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
It's time to saddle up and talk about the winners and the losers. This is the good, the bad, and the ugly. Now, here's the good.
It is your good, it is your bad, it is your ugly right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. All right, got a question for you. Look, there's one thing for us watching at home, but it's another thing for teams actually playing in it and fans going to games. So let's say you got a big game, it's a playoff game in Buffalo, and they're opening up a brand new stadium. It's the AFC Championship game. But their brand new stadium is not domed. So the elements of Buffalo, which we all know can be very severe, can come in and just completely wreak havoc on that game. The Broncos-Patriots game in the AFC Championship game had that ugly snow and winter conditions. Is that just part of the game and that you should just deal with it? Or when you're deciding a high-level football game, do you want conditions to be as pristine as possible? The reason I bring this up is Kansas City, who November, December, January is one of the most miserable places to play in terms of weather, they just released their designs of a new stadium. $3 billion stadium with a B. $3 billion stadium.
Is Tom Dundon picking up any of that?
Tom Dundon is not picking up a single cent of that thing.
Just not like out of the goodness of his heart.
Nope. And so with that, this thing will be enclosed. And I don't know if it's retractable or not, but it will be enclosed. So if you got an AFC Championship game in Kansas City in late January, it's not going to be nasty 20-degree below weather, wind, snow. It'll be pristine conditions. Is that how we should have all of our games of meaning in January focused, or do you want the weather element to it?
I think it's a franchise choice. It's just like turning on Madden and saying, I feel like playing a snow game and flipping the the little variable to snow. Yeah. I actually like that it's determined by the franchise.
Yeah.
I like that, Buffalo, that's part of their mystique, I guess, is the ice and the snow and all that craziness.
Same with New England, same with Denver.
That's
their thing.
They'd save a lot of time, because we do see them going in there with the shovels during the season as a city to go clean things out. I mean, it would make sense, but I do like the fact that they get to choose.
I mean, I do think that and Denver is going to be building a new stadium. They haven't released their renderings. We don't know what that's going to look like. But, they're 3 or 4 years away from a new stadium. And
I hear it looks like a Walmart.
Oh, really? Hey, you know what? As long as they got that Walmart money, bringing in all the stuff.
Super Walmart.
Yeah, not just a little Walmart. The super.
Mega super.
Would you rather be a Walmart or a vacuum cleaner? Because that's what you got down there.
I'll take the vacuum cleaner.
Over
the
man.
Walmart? Come on.
The Rumba or whatever that thing is down there.
Going to have smiley faces on all the tags.
We're rolling back.
We're rolling
back prices.
Yeah.
Concession rollback.
Hey, you know what? I'm all for it because I go to a game a year, and those are some expensive pretzels.
You do have to buy, you have to swallow hard when you order at a game.
I go to one game a year.
I go to a game a year.
That's not a honk, Lloyd.
Oh, it so is.
If I
go to a game a year.
If I went to multiple games a year.
Apparently you're a true fan, what I'm understanding. You're a true fan.
I had European friends and somehow was honked.
That was not honk-worthy.
That was on the edge. I'll admit, that was probably on the edge.
Me and my 15-year-old, we drive to a game in the middle of winter through Laramie.
Yeah.
To get to a game.
I think your tickets are going to be a little better this year.
Now, you can honk that. I'm all for that one.
Yeah, that's a honk for somebody else.
I think we need to go to Denver. In Denver, we need to go to the Raider-Denver game as a team. That would be fun.
Oh, really?
I will wear my Raider gear.
No, you wouldn't.
Yes, I will. I will. Absolutely, I will.
Then he's not invited.
Why not?
You can't.
Because I don't want to fight.
Yeah,
we're not going to fight.
And because
I'm not likes to fight guy.
And because of the experience,
no, but you like to pop off.
that might be allowed for us pregame, you can't be wearing Raiders gear.
I get along with everybody.
Not in that situation.
No, it's more just the appearance of evil.
And you really think you get along with everybody? You tried to fire a guy.
Oh,
for fun.
When are you going to let that go?
Never. All right. Bottom line is, there's a lot of teams out there that want enclosed stadiums. There's a lot of players out there that want enclosed stadiums, and they want real grass. And a lot of that's been because of the FIFA thing. They're like, well, you can find a way to make it work. You made it work for FIFA in the World Cup. So why are we going back and playing on these rubber pellets? I understand it. I just know that it's easier to do it for one or two singular events than it is for, a home schedule like that. So it might be a little bit more difficult and cost prohibitive. But I also understand a player perspective. You want to be on the best conditions possible that is not going to shred your ACL at any given moment.
I like the places in Vegas like this where the turf is
grass.
Actual grass,
Yep.
and it's on a pulley, and it goes out and, it's able to go out. I like that move if you are going to have a stadium because I think the playing surface is really important. I mean, for years we watched these guys play on a roller rink with a little strip of AstroTurf over the top of it, and at least, I saw a quote by our fearless leader, Mr. Davis, earlier that, artificial.
I actually just saw it. Yeah,
artificial turf is, really important. It is important for him not to play on. He wants to play on that natural surface. So they've done that. I think Arizona does that too.
Yep.
Arizona.
They were the first ones to do it.
Yeah, we played a game. We were actually the very first game to ever be played in that building. BYU Arizona State basketball.
Is that when
Harden
JT went off? That he references all the time?
Yeah, JT played great, and we tipped a ball in at the buzzer. They counted it, and then took it off the board.
I remember that
ended up
game.
losing the game, but James,
There was a football game going on at the same time. PK and I remember watching. PK and I were watching that in the press box.
It was a Saturday afternoon. Yep.
It might have been a Vegas Bowl or something like that.
So anyhow, we played in there, and on the way out, got the bus, and we actually saw the grass outside being, basically manicured and grown. So that's cool too. I like that you can do that on an indoor stadium.
By the way, this Kansas City stadium looks remarkable, like incredible.
Oh, I thought you were going to go the other way. Look on your face.
No,
Like,
look,
disgusting.
I mean, look, I want to bang on Kansas City as much as possible, but that stadium looks absolutely.
They're going to lose that old Arrowhead feel to it. It's like one of the loudest stadiums in the country.
No, it will get very plastic, and that's what happens when you build these massive stadiums. You got to pay for it, and so you get the private seat licenses, and the ticket costs go through the roof, and so you price out your blue collar loud fans. It's just part of what happens.
Well, it's happening. It's happening at BYU. I mean, it's happened in Utah. People have been season ticket holders forever in this new era, and tickets get kicked up, and a lot of people watching it at home now. They used to go.
I mean, look, you can go to Costco, buy yourself a 100-inch TV for $60.
It's not in the afternoons anymore.
No, sir, it is not.
And they're not cheap.
And they're not cheap anymore.
Looking at this stadium, the rendering of the Chiefs, it draws me to the Indianapolis stadium a little bit.
It does have a little bit of that feel to
But
it.
it is fantastic. But for $3 billion, it should be. If you're going to spend $3 billion, you don't want to, looking like a milk crate.
Or a vacuum cleaner.
Or a vacuum cleaner. The Roomba Stadium. It moves amazing. Actually around the city and cleans up trash.
It does.
When the games aren't going.
It goes down Tropicana, gets all that all cleaned up as
Lloyd
much as possible.
loves my sound effects.
All right, there's your good. Let's get to the bad.
Now the bad.
Good, the bad, the ugly, right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Isaiah Adams is facing 4 charges related to a guns and gangs investigation in his home country of Canada. What's going on up in Canada?
Give me all your money, eh?
Eh? And
or I'll cap you, eh?
Give me that jelly donut, eh?
Is that a jelly?
Eh? But Adams will still be reporting to training camp. He turned 25, turned himself in, facing charges for possessing a weapon by crime, possessing a restricted or prohibited firearm without a license, possessing a loaded firearm, and possessing a prohibited device. So, it'll be interesting to see what exactly happens there. But is that the kind of guy you want to be bringing?
I don't think so. In fact, if I can, just do a little PSA here. If that camera could zoom, I'd love it to zoom right in. But athletes, look at my face when I tell you this. Guns aren't anything you should be messing around with while you're playing, because there's tons of instances. Just do a Google search, for instance, on John Morant.
Yes.
And what guns have done to his once promising career.
Yeah.
So just go hit people on the field, man. Block and tackle and do all that stuff, but leave the guns to the guns and gang unit. How's that? But this has been brought to you by. No, I'm just kidding.
I need that old NBC. The more you know.
Ding, ding, ding.
Yep.
Sound effect.
do 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 do. But no, you're right. And look, you got Plaxico Burress, who spent time in prison because he had a gun. You got Aqib Talib, who shot himself and spent no time in prison because he did it in Texas instead of New York. So
these are guys in the NBA that were notorious for the guns.
Who was the guy in Washington that had a whole locker filled with guns?
I don't remember, but I do remember the saga.
Was it Gilbert Arenas?
Maybe, yeah, in Gilbert Arenas, and he does the podcast, right?
Yeah.
So every time I see him, I think,
Gilbert
what he's carrying.
Gilbert had an arsenal that could have taken down Nicaragua in his locker, in an NBA locker room.
I don't know, man. Guys they lose track of the most important thing, and you see it all the time. Like that guy's a professional football player. And it says in this news release that 2 of the 4 people arrested with him were arrested on trafficking fentanyl. So, I mean, you're into some stupid stuff. Chill. Leave it alone. Go play football.
Look, you got you got the golden goose right there. Don't screw it up. I mean, that's the thing. Like, you've got everything available to you that you could possibly hope for in life. An NFL career where you're going to make millions of money, millions of dollars. You should not, I mean, why you would ever even think of messing with that. That should be your number one priority. Stay employed, keep the money coming in, and just, even if you just stay at home and watch Netflix. Don't go outside. Don't do anything stupid. Don't go to any news story that says coming out of a nightclub at 2 a.m. usually isn't involving anything good. So don't come out of a nightclub at 2 a.m. Stay home. Make your money. Improve your craft. I know it's really easy for us older guys to say that, but still, come on, man.
It's kind of what we do.
Don't waste a golden opportunity.
Said to have run with a really rough group out of Toronto called the Fedora Boys. That's the gang. They're known for their distinctive feather.
I know a guy that might join.
I'm not wearing a fedora.
What do you say you get a fedora, eh?
I'm not, especially. Well, I think in Canada it's those. What do you call them? The beanies up there.
Oh, they're called the Ute.
Or toques.
Or toques. A toque or a Ute. I've heard them called Utes or a toque.
So yeah, I don't think they're wearing a lot of fedoras up north of the border. And I'm not wearing a fedora. Like,
but the Fedora Boys, the point is that's how you determine that gang.
I might even go buy you a fedora.
We'll split it. I'm in on half.
Let's do it.
And you can try it on right here in front of the camera.
Have you do a show with a
and then
fedora.
have you deal us a hand of poker.
All right, folks. I'm out. Hope you all enjoy your evening.
Sorry about the pocket aces over there.
All right. There you go. Good, the bad, the ugly, right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Ron McBride's going to join us coming up in just a moment. We'll chat with him. Always fun to catch up with Coach Mack. He's got, look, the one thing about Coach Mack, there's no offseason for him. He's always got some irons in the fire.
Just got a text from Jamil Hawkins. The great Jamil said, Gilbert had an arsenal that could take down Nicaragua, Scotty. That's funny. He liked it.
Thanks, Jamil. And by the way, they robbed you on Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah, that lady was way too
smart.
That
lady was, yeah. No.
I asked him before. I said, "Did you know she was annoying? She's going to answer everything." Kind of.
I was like, the guy, the other dude was annoying too. Like,
but you know, he walked with 6K.
Hey,
let's go. That's more than I made that day.
Yeah. No, look, you got a nice little trip to California, made 6K. Not a bad day at the office.
He told me the coolest part, they got there early. And, you know, he's just been a big fan of game shows his whole life. And so they're like, hey, the studio's not quite ready. Let's wait in here, and open the door, and they walk into the Jeopardy studio.
Oh, that's the hallowed grounds right there.
So he walked up and looked at the Alex Trebek, you know, all the stuff and the memorabilia they have in there. So he lived it up for sure.
Yeah, good for him. All right, 11:45. This is 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. We're going to go to exit 222 in Nephi, the Bar Dub Grill and the Bar W Steakhouse.
The best radio in Utah is right here. This is Scotty G and the coach, Tim LaComb, on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Scott Garrard, the coach, Tim LaComb. All right, Coach, you'll like this story, considering the historian you are. 19-year-old Quinn Brown in Portland, Oregon, was at a Goodwill. He wanted to pick up some gear that looked like Lakers colors. He had been buying up vintage clothes to resell online. The priciest resale he had had previously was $250. Well, he finds this jacket in Lakers colors. On the back, it says Chamberlain. So he grabs it, goes up to the front desk. They charge him $3.07 at the Portland Goodwill. He got home. He searched the internet for comparable sales, didn't find anything. But he told a local news outlet he had seen a Wilt Chamberlain warm-up go for 5 figures a decade prior. So he posted a photo of the jacket, and Sotheby, the head of Modern Collectibles, got in touch with him, said, hey, why don't you co-sign that jacket to us? And they did a photo match, and sure enough, it is a Wilt Chamberlain warm-up jacket that he wore throughout the 1971-72 season, including a definitive match to the 1972 NBA Finals. It is now sold for $89,600.
That's typically how my investments work.
Yeah.
Just a major return like that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay.
I just cannot help to make just thousands of dollars on everything I touch.
Everything you just touch turns to gold.
Which couldn't be further from the truth. Money's hard to make. Go buy something for $3 and flip it for $90K. Good for him.
Yeah.
Good for him. And you know what? Good for the Red Sox. They're up 2-0 in the bottom of the first.
Oh, boy.
I know. It's annoying.
Is this the number is still at 14, right?
Right. They win today. It ties franchise record of the Ted Williams crew back in the 40s.
That's pretty impressive. That is a big deal. Who's on the mound today?
I think it's Suarez. Let me see.
Somebody that.
Oh, no. It's Bennett.
Somebody that they're paying $25 a game to.
I think they picked him up from the common. He was just throwing rocks in the river there. No,
like,
their pitching staff's actually been good.
You got a pretty good form on you, young man. Why don't you try out for the team?
This dude that's starting today has started 9 games with an ERA of 2.57. Red Sox now lead 4-0 in the bottom of the first.
4-0.
4-0.
Oh, okay. Well, dude, it's done.
I'm so glad that I have that information now.
Well,
it's done. Put it on the board. You got
When there's
15 in a row.
history-
15.
No, don't do that.
No, it's done. It's over with.
I feel like
You
we
don't
can
even
talk
have-
about.
you don't
we
even
now
have to
move on to 16.
You don't even have to keep so who are they playing for number 16? Because this one's in the books.
Let's move on.
It's later today. It's a
Same
doubleheader.
team?
Yeah.
Well, they got that.
Oh,
Rain out yesterday, so they get 2 today. And we can
Let's
set
play
the record.
2. Oh, well, at that point, too. So you know that team's going to be shell-shocked after what you're doing to them in game 1. So it's on to 17 now.
Oh, you guys have just
Who do
done
they
it.
play the next series?
Listen,
Does it matter, Lloyd?
Not really.
Not when you're playing this well.
what it matters is so you can mess with me.
I mean, frankly, if they don't win
Okay, this
both,
isn't like talking about a no-no, is it?
frankly, if they don't win both games today, that's a massive disappointment.
Oh, God.
Totally is.
Okay, I've learned my lesson. I'll shut up.
No, you're good.
To answer your question, Lloyd, they play Toronto, followed by the Athletics, and then the Dodgers.
Finally playing somebody.
Oh, and then the Dodgers.
Yes, in L.A.
Okay, they make it through those, then come talk to me about this streak.
If they win the next 3 series in a row.
Thanks, Red Auerbach.
Oh, man.
Lloyd does win. He wins, and that's all he does. And smokes a cigar.
How are the Giants doing, by the way?
Not good.
And,
They're terrible.
and I'm not looking to pile on. I just don't know.
No, they're bad. Yeah.
How are my Cubbies doing?
Cubbies are good. 57-44,
decent.
6 games back of the Brewers in the division.
Well, the Brew Crew got the best record in baseball. I have a neighbor who she's a diehard Cubs fan.
Yeah.
Or not Cubs. I'm sorry, Brewers fan. Yeah.
Is it the sheep lady?
No. The sheep are gone now. We're all good.
Okay.
We've been.
I mean, not that I had any bad. I just like sheep.
We can't live everything on air, Tim. There's some things that can't be.
We've mended fences. Everything's fine.
That's good.
Literally, yeah.
Oh.
Everything's good.
So the BB gun thing, that's no.
That was for the deer.
Okay.
I sure hope you didn't do that.
No.
Yeah, you got those strobe lights now that's going to give me a
You
seizure.
like those?
All of a sudden, I hear this hype. I'm like, what is that?
It's working. These things
apparently.
work, man. The deer hate those things. Strobe lights. The neighbors also hate them too. But that's all right.
So you're probably going to have somebody BB gun one of those.
Well,
things.
one of them isn't. I got 3 of them, and one of them all of a sudden isn't working. I noticed it this morning. I'm like, ooh, something may have happened. Somebody may have got upset at that one.
Well, I didn't know anything about it, but all of a sudden I saw this light flash across the street in your backyard, and I was like, what is that? Is somebody messing with me? Somebody flashing a light at me?
And
Apparently
it makes
it's
that high pitch. I
yeah.
couldn't hear it. 'cause
I didn't
I'm
hear
so
it on the
old.
one on the other side, but I did see the light flash at me. I was like, that's weird.
Yeah, that's the.
I thought some kids were messing with me.
The neighborhood way of getting rid of the deer, and somehow it seems like it works.
Well, that's much more humane than the way you were going about it.
We weren't causing any permanent damage, none whatsoever.
Just color damage.
No, not
To
even
the
that.
pelts.
Airsoft gun, little pellets.
Okay.
See another sound.
Yeah. Brody. Well, never mind.
No, we don't.
Yeah,
Yeah,
never
let's
mind.
stop.
Yeah, don't get Brody in trouble.
Because I brought it up and it'll all come back to me. Won't it?
All right, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Let's give away some tickets, shall we? It is a Win Ticket Wednesday right here on the Zone. Caller number 12, you will win a pair of tickets. See, guess what? Post Malone, Posty, Jelly Roll, and Carter Faith in Rice-Eccles Stadium coming up July 28th. What is today, the 22nd? You're less than a week away to seeing, again, Posty, Jelly Roll, Carter Faith in Rice-Eccles Stadium, July 28th. Tickets on sale at livenation.com. So you can get them right now, or you can try to be caller number 12, 801-575-ZONE. That's 801-575-ZONE, and win your tickets. It's a Win Ticket Wednesday right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
You're locked on to Scotty G and the coach, Tim LaComb.
Now I know y'all are tripping.
Presented by Mountain Land Supply on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Scott Garrard, Tim LaComb. Happy Wednesday, everybody, right? Wednesday, yeah.
It runs together when you have life as good as we do.
I know life is very, very good, and it's about to get just a little bit better because the legend himself, Ron McBride, there he is, walking in studio.
Sometimes they say, Rick Pitino said, Larry Bird ain't walking through that door anytime soon. Well, we got a legend walking through the door all right.
There
right
he
there.
is.
That's a legend. What's up, my guy?
There he is.
I wore my Motley Crue shirt for you today, Coach. We're going to rock in here.
Oh, man. You know what? It's always good when we have a chance to catch up with the coach himself, Ron McBride. There's no off-season for Coach. He's always staying busy. By the way, you doing well, Coach? Everything good in your world?
Yeah, everything's good. Yeah.
So, all right. So you got a lot on your plate.
Yeah.
But let's before we get into all the football talk and all the other stuff.
Okay.
Let's talk about some concerts you got coming up.
Okay, good. Okay.
I'm going to this one. This is that's high quality stuff you're bringing to town.
Oh yeah, they're great. They're really great.
The Head and the Heart coming in.
Yeah.
All right. So before we get into the concert, though, how much fun are you having just going to schools and stuff like that and being able to help out so many people?
Well, I think we're giving away over $500,000 this year.
Wow.
To 42 schools. So yeah, we're and it's all about these kids, and I just met yesterday with the Tooele School District people, and we're adding 8 schools in Tooele.
Oh, that's great.
Wow.
Yeah, which we hadn't done before. So I met with a couple of the people in charge of the district, and then I'll meet with the principals, I think next week, and we'll go from there.
It would have been really easy for you to just, hang out, go to some football games, coach up a kid here and there. But a lot of this is, and by the way, I was at his office yesterday dealing with a little shin issue. I was with John Edwards.
Oh yeah, John. I love John.
But so much of what you're doing now spawns from your relationship with Lavelle back in the day.
Oh, absolutely. Well, it all started with Lavelle and I to begin with.
Yeah.
And then, so we honored Lavelle and Patty was part of our deal out at the aquarium. It's been probably 3 weeks ago now, but we had around 400 people there for that event, and it was excellent.
Why is it so important to you, Mac? Doing all this right now? I mean,
well, because I was kind of raised in a neighborhood where kids didn't have it as good, and I recruited all those areas over a period of time. And so I could see what was needed, and the structure the kids need. And I used to see, particularly, in the early afternoons, wherever regardless of whether it was in Chicago or whether it was in Florida or wherever I was, that all these kids were just hanging out, and I can remember there was a shooting in Vegas when I was recruiting there at a 7-Eleven, and the guy was the guy was selling drugs in front of the school, right? And so I can remember that guy asking me when I went in, you know, he had a wad of money. He said, well, how much you make as a coach? You know, and I said, well, and, you know.
Not what they do now.
You know, yeah, and he said, well, look at what I'm making. And I said, yeah. I said, how many drug dealers do you know that live long? And he said, well, I don't know about that, but I'm doing good. And I said, I got this nice Corvette. I got this, A couple of weeks ago, he gets shot at 7-Eleven, you know, right, and got killed. Yeah. So.
And that's what you're trying to give people something to do, right?
Well,
Instead of cause trouble.
Give them structure and have them being around adults and people that they can talk to. And I think it's extremely important that these kids be around people that could form good ideas.
So when you start this off and you start to have, because I remember when this thing got off the ground and you like, look, if we can help out maybe a school here and there.
Right.
You had no idea this thing was going to.
No, I had no idea what was going to happen.
It's just, and that's what's been really cool to see this thing just continue to, it's like snowballing down the hill, just keeps getting bigger and bigger.
Oh my God. Yes, it is. It's you know, just looking at this last year. So we did a clinic in Maui for all the high schools there. We did, and for the Little League programs, and we spent 10 days there, and then we did a thing in Honolulu for the underserved kids there, particularly for the hospital there, because it's the only hospital on the North Shore that serves those kids, and then we're able to do all the things we do here. So we've kind of, you know, we have a group in Philadelphia we support, a Little League group, and then we have those schools in Maui, obviously, and then the kids on the North Shore, and then the people in Utah.
I love one of the things on your, you know, one of the pillars is character education.
Yeah.
And coaching, as long as you did, recruiting, and the other thing is loving people like you do. You're pretty unique that way. And most football coaches just grunt, you know, and you're a guy that seeks out conversation, which I love. But talk about that character education piece. Well,
I think it's just a matter of the more you're involved directly with the schools and the principals, and you have a good communication of what they need. And the principals design the programs, and we support them. And every principal has a good idea of what problems they have and best way to solve it. So we just let them design the program, and we visit and support. Everybody in the foundation is responsible for a school. And we get regular reports, you know, so Gino's here with me today, and he's big in our foundation and been a big supporter, played for me, and he's my driver. I have a morning driver, afternoon driver, you know.
He could serve as like driver, bodyguard, consigliere, you know, confidant, all those things.
Well, yeah, kind of, yeah. Whatever. Just get me safely from A to B.
Get me to Scotty.
Yeah. Hey, you know, and that's what's been awesome is about you know, so many of your former players. I mean, I would hear Coach yell all the time like, Sape, where are you?
Yeah, well, Sape, you know, when Sape was living here, right, closer.
Yeah.
So
he's in Hawaii now, right?
No, he's in Mapleton.
Oh.
Is it Mapleton? Way down south.
Sape, so what are you doing down south like
that?
Yeah,
yeah, he's far away,
yeah.
You know. So I lost my, you know, my because he had a lot of free time.
Oh yeah, he had nothing going on in his life.
Yeah. I said, well, just pick me up at this time and drive me over here. Yeah. So now he's he's too far away.
Yeah.
Hell, I think I'd take a turn just for the conversation. Drive you one day. I think we could stir up some good stuff. I have to tell this story. I worked for Rick Majerus as a manager at Utah during my school time, and you laugh. I absolutely laugh. I learned a whole bunch of new words and how to use them. But I was at the airport one day, just on something else, and I was coming home, and I'm standing there waiting for my bag to come out. And I look over to my left, and there is the head coach of the University of Utah football team, Ron McBride, who I just happened to revere as a guy who was coming up, wanted to be a coach. I just loved I loved how you rallied guys. I loved how you brought Utah back, but I loved your way. And so I'm sitting there going, I'm not going to bug this guy, but I would love to say hello. My bag comes out of the carousel, and before I can grab it, McBride's like, where are you coming from? And he starts chatting me up. And, you won't remember that because you've talked to a million people, but it was then and there that it just solidified me. This guy is not just a great coach or leader of men. He's a great man. And so I'm so glad that you're influencing so many people when you could be just home, with your feet up and having people bring you stuff.
Vicky!
Oh my God, Vicky's on restrict or whatever it is. Yeah.
She is your principal, right?
Oh my God, she's tough to work for.
Hey, you made it this long, man.
Yeah,
you made it this long.
Yeah, just shoot off Vicky a news story and be like, "Hey, what do you think of this?" And then she'll get heated up over something, and then she'll leave you alone for a bit.
Well, I came back from this morning's deal, and she's questioning me. What did you say? Yeah. I said, well, what did you listen to? Oh, I'm not listening to you on the radio. And I said, what did you say? And then she said, okay, did you say this? Did you say this? She's like quizzing me on like, okay, did you pass the test? And I'm thinking, oh. And then she said, you want me to make you some eggs? And I said, no, I already ate breakfast. She said, okay, well, that's good. Then you're all right.
You should have said, I already had 2 donuts. I was good.
No. She throws the donuts away.
I know.
So
she's doing good, man. She's keeping you around.
Well,
that's good.
She just looks at what's on my plate, and then if it's not good, she just chucks it.
So this is why my wife got to be really good friends with Coach McBride, because she would bring the sugar-free candy.
Oh my God,
and the sugar-free cookies.
She was so great. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
The sugar-free was very important.
Very important. The concert coming up, and we've got you for a little bit, but fired up to chat with you about the concert. This is a good one. The Head and the Heart.
Right.
Saturday, August 22nd, so you still have some time, but there's tickets, and then there's VIP Ultra tickets, and those are the ones you really want to get because you're going to have a great experience there.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be an awesome concert, and it's
Imagine being able to get your dinner, your drinks, private seating, exclusive access to the VIP lounge, the VIP bar, official VIP lanyard, front of venue parking so you can get in and out of there quickly.
Right.
Band merchandise. So go to ronmcbridefoundation.org and click on the VIP Ultra tickets because that's where you're going to want to get your tickets. Now, it'll be a great venue, great opportunity for any level of tickets you get. But I want people to get that VIP Ultra thing because I want to keep talking to Coach and keep buttering them up because I want a pair of those tickets.
Okay, I got you covered, bro.
Let's go. Hey, so you've been doing these concerts for a while. These do well for you.
Well, this has been our 3rd year, and so obviously with Ella Langley last year, she was
good.
We just got her at the right time.
Yeah, you probably couldn't have pulled that off now.
I mean, that was like a perfect time.
No, well, we contacted her again, right?
Yeah,
and she wanted $1 million something.
So, hey, man, you got her when it was good.
I just hung the phone up. Yeah, but so she's a hot item. But this Head and Heart group is really interesting because their blend is unreal, and so they're a combination of. When they got the band, Gino? So when they started the band, what are they?
That was 15 years ago.
Grab that mic there, Gino. We got to get you mic'd up, man. Yeah, just talk right into that.
That was 15 years ago, Coach. Their debut album, and that's what they're doing on this particular show, is they're going back through their 15-year debut album and redoing that album from start to finish.
Oh, that's awesome.
Which was their #1 album, yeah. And that's a great album if you listen to it. And it's family friendly. You can bring the kids. Be a great night out. There's about 50 VIP tickets left. We've got about 1,000 tickets in the arena, and the tickets in the arena are only like $49.95 for chairs and $39.95 for grass. So,
and this is at the fairgrounds, right?
No, this is at the Sandy Amphitheater.
Oh, Sandy Amphitheater. Okay,
Sandy Amphitheater. Yeah. So it's we're excited about it. We're really excited about it. It's going to be a fun night. There'll be a lot of activities there. We'll have food booths, and it's going to just like any other typical concert at Sandy Amphitheater. If you haven't been there, it's a great venue for a show. I've seen rock concerts there. I saw Donnie and Marie do a show there one night, and it was just off the hook. I thought, man, this is unbelievable. But great venue, great family environment.
And great music too. If you're not aware with the band, tell your wife, tell your girlfriend, and they'll know, and they'll be all about it. And it's a great date night. Whether you want to go with the Ultra VIP tickets or just the get in and grab a chair and just enjoy some great music. This is a really good get. When I saw this band name come across, I was like, "Ooh, Coach isn't messing around."
I saw them. They opened for I can't remember. It was a couple of years ago, but they opened out at the amphitheater out in West Valley,
right?
And I didn't know who they were, but it was one of those bands that when they took the stage, they had my attention.
Yeah.
I'm a music person, and they write incredible music and perform it beautifully.
Yeah.
So it should be an incredible night.
Yeah, it'll be a fun night. I talked to my sister in Colorado, and she said, "Hey, you guys have the head and the heart. Everybody in town started talking about going down to that concert. So it's going to be a fun night."
It really is. Coming up, we'll talk more to Coach about the upcoming football season, get his thoughts on the Utes, Cougars, and even the Aggies as well, as Broncos crew getting ready for another run.
I'm interested in what the Aggies are doing, Scotty.
You and me both.
I got to tell him my Broncos story. He won't believe it.
Oh yeah, I believe any story about Broncos.
Well, this one will surprise you a little bit.
I made him laugh.
Let's just say
you made him laugh.
The first interview.
No way.
Let's just say he got him to do something that Lavelle Edwards did with us once that shocked us as well.
Oh yeah, well.
Let's just say that it might include singing a fight song.
Yeah, I tell you what, Lavelle was the best dude ever, and he was such a good, and I miss him.
Miss him too.
Yeah. I mean, I can just see him like sitting here where Gino is, and we're talking story.
Yeah, calling hands, Lance.
Yeah,
Or Hans.
Oh my God. And Hans would get so upset.
Oh, he's so mad.
Because he doesn't, I played for him for 4 years. He still doesn't know my name. And I said, well, he'll figure it out. Give him a little time.
Or call him Orrin.
Yeah, Orrin, yeah.
When we were first doing some stuff, and I was like, yeah, I'm calling the Utah State game. And he's like, oh, for radio or TV? And he's like, oh, wait a minute, no, it wouldn't be for TV. You're not doing any TV work. And I'm like, yeah, I know, Coach. I get it.
So
he could cut you.
Oh, he could cut you good. Yeah, that's what's so much fun about it.
I tell you what, and I can't think of the number of canes that he left at different places that we spoke. I mean, he would come in with his cane and he'd leave the cane there.
Yeah.
And I say, and then I call him. I said, "Hey, your cane is at, at the dealership out there in." Oh yeah, I got more.
I got a trunk full of them. Yep, yeah, I do the same thing.
I leave my glasses. That's my thing, Coach. I'm always leaving stuff. It's an age thing.
Well, you're way too young to worry about the age thing right now.
I don't know, man. I'm fooling you. I got a little more years than you think.
Well,
We'll talk more with Coach coming up next. We'll talk some football straight ahead. This is 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
The Jazz, the Mammoth, and the Utes, Cougars, and Aggies. When it comes to sports in Utah, we've got you covered. This is Scotty G and the coach, Tim LaComb, presented by Mountain Land Supply on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Welcome on back. You're listening to Scott Garrard, the coach, Tim LaComb, the greatest coach, one of the greatest coaches here in the state of Utah. Ron McBride hanging out with us. Coach, this is always kind of a fun time of year. Camp's coming up. Everybody's excited. Everybody's undefeated.
Yeah, everybody's going back to work.
Yep. The vacations are coming to an end.
The vacations are coming to an end.
Morgan signed off on social media just a couple days ago.
Yeah, he said, I'm out.
I'm out. See you next, see you off season.
Yeah.
So guys come in, and camp's going to start here in the next week or so.
Right.
Coach, there are a lot of expectations down in Provo on this team.
They're nice. They got a nice team. If I was them, I'd be excited about that group too, because the days that I spent a couple of days watching spring practice, and I like their team a lot. I like their speed, particularly on the defensive side, and I love the quarterback, and I think the offensive line will be good, will be solid, you know. I'm not sure about the receivers, you know, how good they are.
Yeah.
But the quarterback throws everything on time. I mean, the ball comes out, anticipating the cuts, and he gets the ball right where it's supposed to be. So I think that guy is, I think he's pretty special. I don't know how good, you know, the backup had quite a few reps in both times I was down there, and I thought he was okay, but you know, he's not in the category of
the bear.
Of the bear, yeah, the bear is special. And then I asked one of the guys down there. I said, "Well, how are you going to keep this guy here for 4 years?" And he said, "Because of his mom." And his mom is big on academics, and she wants both of her kids. She has 2 kids down there to graduate from BYU. And they have to have their degree before they can do anything else. So he'll stay there until he gets his degree. So my guess, and my guess, he's probably looking at his family history. He's probably in a pretty difficult academic position there. So you know, he and his brother both. So I think the mom really values education.
And when you have that kind of a situation where you have that type of a running back in L.J. Martin, who was the Big 12 Offensive Player of the Year, preseason Offensive Player of the Year, that really helped that transition from being a true freshman into being a star. And to have him coming back, I mean, you know more than anybody, having a returning running back, what that means to your team.
Oh, yeah. So he didn't practice in spring because he was coming off a surgery. But 2 years ago, when I was down there at one of their spring practices, and this was, so they had 4 running backs, and then I didn't know who he was.
Yeah.
And I'm watching, I'm saying, who's that guy? And I said, he's an oh my God guy, you know.
There's only a few of those, right?
Yeah. And so, and it's kind of like, so I'm watching them go through their drills, and this guy just stands out over and above everybody else. And I said, who is that guy? Oh, that's C.J. Martin. Well, where's he been? He said, well, he was hurt the year before or whatever. I said, that guy's for real. So you better keep him healthy. And then I thought the Moa kid, was okay. He's a slasher, downhill, tough guy. And I thought he was, as a backup, I thought he would be, be very serviceable. But this kid Martin was special. Just watching him go through the drills. It was kind of like the first practice we had Michael Anderson. I remember,
Dude, that guy could go.
Yeah, so I'm watching him and I'm thinking, yeah, this guy's pretty good for a Marine,
For a kid that was in the marching band.
Yeah, the kid in the marching band. I'll tell you, the first time I watched him, catch a pass, run a drill, I'm saying, it's a no-brainer. I mean, we had a home run with that kid.
What were you able to see in running backs that other people weren't able to see? Because you had a string there of just elite guys.
I probably had 20 of those guys go to the NFL.
Yeah,
the Dirty Bird.
Yeah, the Dirty Bird, and each guy, I can remember, with Chris Monfalla, I'm at his house over there when he was a junior in high school. And his brother Roy played for me, and so Roy said, "You got to come up and watch this 8mm film on my brother."
Is he a Hawaii? He was a Hawaii kid, right?
Yeah, he's from St. Louis. Played at St. Louis.
That's right.
And so I go up there. I'm watching the film. And I said, "Holy crap, this guy is for real," Okay, so the thing with Chris did. He said, I don't block, I run. Yeah, because all these people were recruiting him as a fullback, right? I said, dude, you're not a fullback, you're a tailback. You carry the ball. No blocky? No.
No blocky, no
problem. No blocky required.
No blocky required. And so everybody else said, why, you could be this in our two-back offense, you can be this guy, this guy. I said, no. I said, you're the feature.
I got it done.
That's all he needed to hear.
And I was let me think about this. I was in school, and I was in the north end zone in Provo.
Right.
Went down there, and my Utah, sat in that corner over there where all the visitors sit. And just had a feeling it was going to be one of those days because of him.
Yeah.
And I went in there early and caused a ruckus and made a bunch of new friends and enemies.
Yeah.
And 34-17, that dude just ran.
Oh yeah. Well, he had a day that day.
All over that.
And he was pretty cocky when he'd go in the end zone. He'd take that ball in there.
Did he come by to you and say, "No blocky"? Scorey.
I said, yeah, just get in the end zone, dude.
That was man, that was incredible. That might have been one of the best days he ever had, just in terms of carrying the team, man.
And then, and so he was perfectly happy to be the backup at Pitt. I said, hey, dude, you're the backup. He says, it's fine with me. I don't get beat up. And,
I still make good money.
And I still make good money. I got a place close to the stadium. I said, well, what kind of car are you driving? An old one, because if you got a good car, it's going to get stolen. Nobody will steal my car.
What's he doing now? What's Chris?
He's the athletic director on the base over there, and so is the athletic director at that facility.
Awesome. That's awesome. Good for him.
And he's got his daughter's playing soccer for I forget what college. So he's got a couple of kids that are playing soccer. Yeah.
Ron McBride hanging out with us here in studio. I know you've had a chance to chat with Morgan. It wasn't the most ideal situation in that transition from, and that's saying it kindly.
It wasn't I guess a positive separation.
Definitely not clean.
No,
right? Not a clean.
Well, that would be a good word, not clean.
Yes. And, the one thing, Morgan takes over the job, but we all assumed he would, and then Kyle would go into retirement, so he would have Lewis Powell, he'd have all these guys there, and now most of those guys are in Michigan, so he had to build himself a new staff, but it's still Morgan, it's still Utah. They're going to be okay.
Well, he hired some great people.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're the OC in particular, the guy you discovered.
Yeah, McGivern was my coordinator at Weber. I worked with him up at Oregon State, other places. He's a fabulous mind, okay? And then they brought Bumpus back as a receiver coach, which is good. And hiring Jordan Gross and Alex in the offensive line was unreal. And watching Jordan in the spring, Jordan is a great teacher.
So it's like you don't have any concern there at all.
No, I really don't. No.
Well, especially with a guy that you helped that's helped you along the way, and Alex Gerke there to help.
Oh yeah,
Al's been there forever, man.
Well, Alex is like one of my sons. You know? So and Alex is great with the players, and he's a great teacher. So they lost Jim Harding, who's a really good coach and a good person, but they didn't step backwards because Jordan is really good, and Jordan is a Utah guy, and Alex is a Utah guy. So, and then they lost Lewis, which I think was huge, but they got Inoki in his place, and Inoki had worked for me at Weber, and he's a really good coach. And Colton now is the D coordinator, and Colton was my D coordinator at Weber. And then they brought Derek Odom in to coach the safeties, and Derek played for me and was a GA for me. So they lost some really good people, but they also got some really good people. And I think that the thing that we'll see is they have a different way of weight training now than what Doug did, okay? So we'll see how that goes. It's more based on the individual position. And so their routine is different than Doug's routine. So we'll see how that all works.
What do you make of, Morgan, we went down to Big 12 Media Day, and we've already had a handful of people come on the show and say, man, that's a whole different experience interviewing the Utah coach this year, right? Like the personality is so much different. And
Well, Kyle is not an overt guy. Right. He's just Kyle being
He'll
Kyle.
give you what you need, or what he thinks you need, and then you're done. But but obviously a ton of excitement around what Morgan's doing. Having coached him, knowing the strengths, but also knowing being in that seat for the very first time. Yeah. What do you think it'll be that surprises him?
Well, I think that he'll find that it's not easy, and how you going to handle when you have a minus, maybe a loss you shouldn't lose, or something, something like that, and then how he's going to handle that, because he'll go through some. There's no doubt that he'll go through some growing pains, but he has good personnel. He has good players. And because the two quarterbacks, best wideouts they probably ever had, I think the offensive line is very good. I would question, the quality in the defensive front, would be a question mark. But those guys are all work hard. They've all had good summers. So that group is going to have to probably be better.
You were more about the defensive line than the offensive line? If you had, not worry, but you would put one.
Yeah, the offensive line I think is got real quality, because I think if all their guys that they have, the top 6 guys are healthy, they got a really good group. Now, let's say they lose a couple of those guys, then that could create a problem, but I think, on paper, it's a good group. The tight end group is, I think, 4 or 5 of them. There's 4 of them that all look about the same. They're all good players.
By the way, I'm a big fan. I love Freddie. I'm a big fan of that coach, Luke Wells, Matt's brother.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he's a really good guy, and so I was able to have a conversation with him. I forget, it was maybe a month ago, and you know, and of course I was pretty good friends with Matt when he was up at Utah State, and so we talked about Matt. We talked about what he's doing, and this kid appears to be a very bright guy.
Yeah, good connections in Texas too for recruiting.
Oh yeah, well that's a
fairly important state
just
in
a bit
football.
Yeah.
Well, with Utah now, I think Morgan, Sharif, and a couple of those guys, they did a good job in Texas, you know, and it kind of establishing there and getting some pretty good players out of there, you know, and they got a pretty good reputation there. So yeah, I think that, you know, they lost some quality guys that went to Michigan, particularly on the defensive side. Like,
JHD, Daly rolling around and sacking the quarterback. That John Henry Daly's a baller.
Well, he's a player. Yeah, and a good player. Yeah, and a good guy too. I mean, he's fun to watch.
Snowden on his way out there too.
I thought Snowden was their best man corner.
I agree. Yeah.
And Snowden he's a real guy. So they took, the guys they took were the right guys.
Mm-hmm.
And the coaches he took were the right coaches. And the in-house personnel that he took were the right people. Because he
kind of knows what he's doing, doesn't he, old Kyle?
Well, he's nobody's fool. You know, and he got rid of a lot of those older Michigan people that hang around, and he created his own atmosphere, which is really important because you got the old school Michigan people that they want to operate a certain way, and so most of those guys are gone. And so he has his people, and he's done the right thing because a couple of the other coaches they hired that were not Michigan guys struggled there because they got all these other Michigan people hanging around, and that they didn't have enough of their own people.
And they're like, that's not the Michigan way or whatever, right?
Yeah, it's the Michigan way, the Ohio State way, you know, this is what we do, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, Gary ran into that a little bit in Wisconsin, too.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Gary, you know, after a couple of years there, you know, he wanted to get out.
Yeah.
You know? But Wisconsin is one of the more fun places to ever coach. I mean, I loved it when I was there. It was Saturday afternoon. That stadium was just rocked, you know. Everybody was drunk, you know. There's not one sober person in that stadium, and believe me. And they're all...
Not even the line judge.
No, not even the line judge. Yeah. So, those people had more fun between you're playing on a Saturday, between Thursday night, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah.
It was like a 4-day drunk, you know. And you go to okay, we won a big game against Ohio State, right? So I go to this bar downtown, right? And this guy's, you know, he's urinating on my foot, right? And I said, "Hey, dude, you're urinating on my foot. Get out!"
I'm sure you said it exactly like that
I didn't
too.
Say that. I said it different, but
probably with a forearm.
Yeah. And so then he said, "Did you see what I saw today?" And I said, "What did you see today?" "Our team just killed Ohio State." And the guy's crying, you know, and I'm thinking, I just gave him a big hug and said, "That's all right, you know. Hey, but if you're going to go to the bathroom on somebody's foot, try the guy."
Best story of the day.
Go find somebody that lost to pee on.
Hey, one thing I love about what I'm feeling is with Kalani down there and Morgan up here, right? We talked about it to start the whole thing, but what you and Lavelle did just kind of I don't know, group hug, the whole thing. It is a game, and you said something there. That it's supposed to be fun, right? It's a job for the people in it, but you and Lavelle did a great job. I feel like hopefully we're on that same track with Morgan and Kalani. It can dumb down some of the dumb stuff.
Well, the biggest thing is you can't lose to the BYU. You know, I mean, that's the bottom line. Regardless of how I love Kalani, you know.
It's not an option, though.
Yeah, because it's something that you have to take care of.
Yeah.
Because I can remember the days when they treated us like we were a stepchild, you know, and they had more fun doing it, and I can still see those days in my mind, you know, and I said, well, you can't worry about BYU till you play them, but they're a team you have to beat to survive. If you don't beat them, you don't survive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plain and simple.
They're absolute truth.
Yeah. If you want to survive in this state,
it's like
you better beat.
I think Dave Rose against Utah at BYU was 13-4.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how you stay that long. You just keep beating them.
Oh yeah, and it's gonna get, it's getting back with them being in the same league, us being, and now it gets back to be a real thing, because BYU is, I think Kalani is ranked as maybe the top coach in the league or something, and which he deserves, and so we'll see how it all works.
Well, and, you know, it's like, you know, you go down the list of, you know, Jim Harbaugh almost got fired at Michigan because he couldn't beat Ohio State for a while. Ryan Day was really close to getting fired because he couldn't beat Michigan. John Cooper did get fired because he couldn't beat Michigan.
Yeah, it's the same. It's the same thing. Those people. That game is huge, and the Notre Dame game is huge for Michigan. Notre Dame and Ohio State. You have to win those two games to survive. So yeah, you can't
mess around there.
You did your share beating BYU.
Yeah,
the first guy to do that.
Yeah. So that was important that we get on a equal basis with them, and that game, you know, wasn't over before the game even started, and then we got good personnel. We got players that could compete well, and we got some nasty guys, and
the rest is history.
The rest is history.
We're going to get some final thoughts from Coach on the upcoming season. Also, revisit the concert coming up. This is an opportunity for you to be a part of not just a great concert, but also a great cause as well. Because let's be honest here, the Head and the Heart, tremendous show. And this is going to benefit the after-school programs for at-risk kids. So far, Coach has helped out 42 schools, 7 districts, nearly $500,000, and just getting started. Head and the Heart, Saturday, August 22nd, Sandy Amphitheater. Go to ronmcbridefoundation.org for more information. You can get base tickets. They'll get you in the door. There's also VIP tickets that get you all kinds of perks as well. But get there now, ronmcbridefoundation.org. One more segment with Coach next. This is 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Locked on to Scotty G and the coach, Tim LaComb. Presented by Mountain Land Supply on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
I'm sure.
Dear old AFI, yes, we will love you till we die. Our banner's bright of red and white will be a beacon through the night. Yeah,
we
right
got
there.
Mm-hmm. My favorite part, though, is coming up. Dramatic arts.
Football and track.
Football and track.
We'll always bring the honors back. So sing our praises to the sky.
Bronk
we'll
and
always
I will always fight for
AFI.
Go. So anyway, that's our shout out for the.
Oh, I'm a beaver. Slap my tail real hard. Chew the bark and build the dam. The beaver man is what I am. Oh, I'm a beaver.
I can't take it.
Bronco, you're not that funny.
There we go. We got Bronco Mendenhall singing his fight song, and we have the classic Beaver fight song written and performed by Lavelle Edwards back in the day.
Oh, my God.
That was such a great moment.
Oh, my God.
And he just came out of nowhere with that thing.
Yeah.
I'm a beaver.
Oh, yeah. I mean.
That was
Slap
the AF.
my tail real hard.
Bronk and I were AF cavemen. So that was the American Fork Fight song. I know you signed many a player. The wedge breaker Colby Knight stands out to me.
I tell you what, Colby Knight was a hell of a player.
Son of Davis Knight, longtime AF coach.
Coach, yeah. And Davis had so much success at American Fork forever. He was probably there 25 or 30 years.
He always looked better than any coach, though. He's just he's a dapper guy. Well, Davis Knight.
Yeah.
So you've got Bronco Mendenhall, year number 2,
right,
in Logan. I was telling you, if Bryson Barnes was back on that team, they'd be right there at the top of the conference. That's my big question mark with them as quarterback.
Yeah. Well, so my son-in-law who coached at Fresno, he said that Bryson Barnes was the best quarterback in the league last year.
Yes, he would have been Mountain West Player of the Year if he had just an average offensive line.
Yeah. So he's. So what is he doing? Do you know?
Bryson?
Yeah.
He's in the CFL, getting snaps up in the Canadian Football League.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, he's a winner, that kid. I mean, he's one of those. We call them the survivors.
Yes. Well, with that offensive line he had last year, he had to survive because they were not good. Yeah. And that's the other thing I loved about Kevin McGivern is he was able to scheme a way for Bryson Barnes to be successful without a particularly good offensive line or a good running game.
Well, I tell you, McGivern's a smart kid, you know. So I used to yell at him a lot, you know.
You yelled?
Yeah.
Yeah.
McGivern was. So McGivern's coaching at San Jose State, and then so I go down there to visit, right? And then he brings up all the things that I used to. You remember this when you did this to me? And I'm thinking, McGivern, I apologize for anything that I did to disrespect you when you worked for me. And I said, you're the best guy, blah blah blah, you know. So,
but you deserved it at the time.
Yeah, because you know, I tell him we got to run the ball, right? And then he loved to pass the ball. Right?
Yeah.
And I said, McGivern, run the football. You see that right there? You see that guy, that 220-pound guy carrying the ball? Nobody can stop him. They got a corner over there that can cover this guy, but McGivern's a good dude. You know, and he's got the job that he's always wanted.
Yep.
You know, and it all worked out for him. And you got with Jordan and Alex, you got two Utah guys that they live and breathe Utah football, and so you got a lot, and you got Morgan, who's a Utah guy. So these guys, the University of Utah is very important to them because it's their school. So it's more than a job; it's a passion.
Yeah, so. It means so much to these guys, and I think that you're going to see a really fun season from Utah. BYU expectations through the roof. I think Utah State should be right there and being. Competing in that conference with that new look Pac-12, certainly in bowl games as well. So this should be a fun year. And I want to get your thoughts real quick. I know you were up against it a little bit, but I think Weber State knocked it out of the park with their hire.
Oh yeah, that I love that kid. You know, he's not a kid anymore. He's an adult.
Everybody's a kid, though. We can just say that.
Compared to me, compared to
They're
me,
kids.
Everybody's a kid. Scotty's a kid.
Yes, he
You're
is.
A kid.
Yeah.
But he's really a good coach. He's a football guy, and the plus side of it is he knows the state of Utah.
Yes,
and he knows who to recruit. He knows what the good players are. He has a good reputation, you know. So that was a great hire because, you know, you worry Bob, sometimes they like this guy's resume, and he's from Pennsylvania. What does he know about? To succeed in Utah, you have to understand it. You have to understand the culture, the religion, and what things that you push. You know, in other words, you got to make sure you take care of the missionary program. You got to make sure that you take care of certain things that are important to the families in Utah. And education is always one. Future is always one. You know, and I always say, you know, if you want to live in the state of Utah and you want to eventually have a job here, you're better to stay with the University of Utah, Utah State, because I've had a couple of kids that played other places now that are out of football, and they said, and they asked me to help them job-wise, and I say, you know what? If you had played at Utah, you know, it'd have been a lot easier for me to help you, because people know who you are,
and you know it, and vice versa. Yeah.
So it's
it's like Lenny Gomes asking you for a job.
Oh yeah, Lenny.
Lenny's out there pumping gas somewhere.
Oh my God, Lenny!
Remember that one?
Lenny called me. Called me. He wanted to come work for me. I said, Lenny, do you remember
what you said?
What you said? Yeah, that's all in the past.
That was just
I was just
performative.
joking. This is about a job. I need a job. Stuff comes back and bites you sometimes.
Yeah, news travels fast, baby.
Yeah, Lenny. Yeah. Hey, you got a good memory.
Hey, we do our best around here. We do our best, Coach.
Lenny Gomes.
There's some stories about this rivalry that they'll never go away. Hey, the Head and the Heart, big concert. Again, benefits the Ron McBride Foundation. Go to ronmcbridefoundation.org. Get your tickets. They got ultra VIP tickets that are going to give you a really incredible experience. You can get in the door for, you know, whether you're sitting on the grass or you got a seat. There's really affordable options as well. Coming up in the Sandy Amphitheater, Saturday, August 22nd. And remember, this benefits so many great after-school programs. Coach, you've doled out nearly $500,000 to schools. And people think, okay, well, it's Coach, it's football, it's basketball. You've helped debate teams. You've helped theater programs. You've helped so many different programs out there.
Oh, yeah. And it's not just sports, you know, but, we do everything, you know. I mean, so it's whatever those principals design, and we support it. And I tell you what, I went to the Willy Wonka play.
Yes, that's right.
It was so much fun, you know. I'm just sitting there laughing, you know, and then watching all these kids perform the Willy Wonka play, and the grandparents and the parents having so much fun. And then I go the next day to a 3-on-3 basketball tournament. And the next day I'm going to a track meet, and then next day someplace else. But it's just it's a lot of fun to watch these kids have fun.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, thank you, Mac. Thanks for all of it. It really is amazing what you're doing.
So Gino has one great story.
Okay.
What we call the Great Steal. Okay. So he reminded me of that today when we're driving by this hotel downtown. Okay, Gino.
We're driving by a hotel. It used to be a Holiday Inn right off of 600 South. And when we bring in recruits, I stayed there when I was a recruit. But now it's signing day. I've been in Utah maybe 2 weeks. I clept out of high school, came up here and started to go. I wanted to get in as quick as I could. So I've been here maybe 2 weeks. And one of the kids we were recruiting is a guy named Kevin Robertson from Murray High School. So Mac calls me in his office, and he has another guy named Dean Miraldi. He pulls him in and says, listen, we got to go find Kevin. Utah State took him from us, and we're going to go find him. So Mac finds him at this Holiday Inn. And we drive down there, and Coach says, okay, I see him. They're in there shooting pool. He's in there with the coach. He goes, so you guys go in there and shoot pool with him. And just hang out. And he goes, as soon as that coach turns the corner to leave, he goes, grab Kevin and get to the exit and go to his dad's house. So we go out there, we start shooting pool, and all of a sudden I overhear on the intercom, Phone call for Coach so-and-so. I'm thinking, shit, that's Coach Mac.
Covert, man.
Phone call for Coach so-and-so. He has, and the guy's not leaving. He's trying to shoot pool, and he's like, finally he leaves. He looks at Kevin, he goes, don't move. I'll be right back. He goes to the phone. He picks up the phone. It's dead air. Mac's already out the door. We get the kid in the exit. We get him in Dino's car. We drive to his dad's house. We sit down for dinner. We sign Kevin. That Utah State coach is still – he's still looking for him.
He's still looking for him.
Oh, that's dirty.
It was classic.
Oh, that's called dirty pool,
Next
man.
thing I know, we're pulling this kid out of a hotel.
Hey, it's called
awesome.
the Great Steal.
That was awesome.
That's called dirty pool.
Dude, there would be. You've told the story all the time about guys just disappearing. They'd be holed up in a hotel somewhere, and they're like, "We're not."
Hey, everybody was hiding their guys.
Yeah,
Mac put a kid on a boat one time in Hawaii. Made him go out in the boat and sit in the boat in the ocean until the signing date was all over. And he told the mom, "Okay, bring him back."
Yeah, oh yeah.
Hey man, there's way more to this than standing there looking good on the sideline. I promise you that.
Hey, I'll tell you what. In the old days, recruiting was interesting.
Oh,
So
man.
we thought with the Utah State thing, hey, they got him in a hotel. They shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
So let's just go take him.
I absolutely love the Great Steal. I'll repeat that one.
Oh, I bet that's just the tip of the iceberg on recruiting stories.
Oh yeah, I tell you what, I got so many of those stories. It's and it's funny because it's just like it's all about the Great Steal. You know, they're stealing from you, you're stealing from them. You're going after the big car, we're going after the little car.
It's almost like around the world in 80 days, man.
It is. Hey, who's parked in front? What kind of car do they have? Oh, it's a Volkswagen. Okay, we'll take that guy.
Yeah. Well, there was Coach, and this may have been Chris, but I can't remember who you were recruiting. But oh no, it wasn't because I think he did go to BYU. But you walked into his house and following Norm, and Norm had the whiteboard with all the how they were going to change the offense for him.
Yeah, that was the running back out of Kahuku. Yeah.
Who still wanted to play for Mac to this day. He said he wished he could have played for Coach Mac.
Yeah.
Because Norm said he was going to change his offense for him.
So they had this offense on the board in Sawaki's classroom. And I said, whose offense is that? He said, that's the new BYU offense with, featuring LeClay, Homoli. Yeah. I said, what? I said, they're not doing that. And so I told Sawaki, I said, Sawaki, you got to talk to this kid, But the kid's grandpa was like a bishop or something, and so they, the day of the signing date, they hit him out. I couldn't find him.
Oh, so BYU hit him out.
He was probably in the cultural hall somewhere.
Yeah, they hit him out. I couldn't find him. I was at the seminary. He didn't show up to the seminary. I said, "Hey, where's LeClay?" "Oh, he's not here today." I said, "Where is he?" And then I go to the coach. I said, "Where's your guy?" He said, "I don't know. Can't find him." So the grandpa and they hit him out, right? So I couldn't catch up with him.
Works both ways. Yeah.
His son played for you at Weber State.
Yeah. So I said, when the son played for me at Weber State, I said, "Well, you owe me one."
Yeah.
You're darn right.
I said, you went to the BYU and they didn't change their offense, so you gained a couple of 100 yards.
Yeah.
Where if you'd have been playing for me, you'd have been about 1,600 yards.
The old change the offense ruse.
Yeah.
I've been a part of that one too.
Yeah.
Oh, this is all going to be centered around you. Yep.
Yeah.
Now erase that as fast as he leaves.
Coach, thanks so much. Again, the Head and the Heart concert coming up August 22nd. Go to ronmcbridefoundation.org and learn more. It's going to be an absolute great show. Cannot wait to get out there. It's going to be a blast.
And tell Bronco we might try to hire him to sing at one of our concerts.
Done. I'm sure he'd love to do it.
Oh, my God. Bronco's a funny dude now. And he doesn't try to be funny, but he is funny.
He's very, very funny. I'll tell you a great Bronco story when we go to break.
Hey, Gino, thanks for bringing Coach.
Yeah,
man.
appreciate it.
Thanks for being here.
Absolutely.
97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Is right here, right here. This is Scotty G and the coach, Tim LaComb, on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Sounds like a song we should be closing the show with. Great song, though. Make no mistake.
More criticism.
There was a time that we used to close with this on Tuesdays.
I know.
He's criticizing you again.
Yeah.
When it comes to music, I don't expect anything less.
Hey, by the way, let's give away some tickets, shall we? Caller number 12, 801-575-ZONE. That's 801-575-ZONE. We're going to win a family, not 3-pack, not 4-pack, 5-pack. Sound like LeBron here in the next couple of days. Not 3, not 4. No, it's a 5-pack of Royals tickets to see the Royals take on the Washington Spirit, July 29th at America First Field, 7 o'clock game. So, caller number 12, 801-575-ZONE. That's 801-575-ZONE. Let's go get your tickets. If you want them, come in and claim them. Big thanks to Ron McBride. Go to ronmcbridefoundation.org and go, speaking of tickets, get your tickets to the head and the heart. They've got great tickets that'll get you in the door. I suggest looking at those VIP tickets. Not a lot of those are left, but you're going to have an incredible experience. All the food, all the drinks, the merch, the easy in and out parking. They're going to make it definitely worth your time there.
And hang with Mac.
Yes.
You know, that's worth it. But awesome to have him in here, an absolute legend. Not for, what he did on the field alone, but just the way he's impacted our community and continues to.
And that's really the great thing too, it's one thing to be a coach and then just show up at a game here and there and just kind of wave your hand and that's it. But he is such an active part of the community that the coaches aren't like that anymore. They're not. Like, he could have retired, gotten him a house in Florida somewhere and just been there. But he's at every high school game he can go to. He's going to school plays. He is one of one. There is only one Ron McBride, and the only person that's been at that level, sadly, is no longer with us at Lavelle Edwards. But those two are the most genuinely good human beings on the planet, and you just can't argue it. I love those dudes.
Totally fortunate, to have the history coincide. I mean, you heard Mac talk about Wisconsin. He could have been a lot of different places. He'd been all over the place, coached at Arizona with Dick Tomey, but his time here, I said it, I was at the U at the time, and, what we see as the must now is about 4 rows.
Yeah.
And the only thing that was a constant was mostly Utah football was, a loss and a rubber chicken flying around the muss, the 3 rows of the muss. But it's amazing. Like he said, he made BYU we've got to find a way to be competitive with those dudes. And did they ever? And
you were up there at that time. I mean, you probably felt that it turned there.
Yeah, I definitely did. I was at the game, the first game they won 34-31 in Salt Lake. The field got mobbed. It was totally different. You just weren't used to that because for decades, BYU, that was just a scheduled win.
Yeah. And no longer.
No, and I give all the credit. Witt did what he did. Urban did what he did. But that they don't get the chance if Mac doesn't get that thing where it is.
And that's you can credit Urban, and Urban was huge. You can credit Kyle. Kyle, obviously huge. That ball doesn't get rolling without Ron McBride.
It doesn't, because he really taught people it was okay to try and fail, but as competitive as the day is long. And I think what carried the day was just his way. You hear it all the time. Have you ever spent time with Ron McBride? Oh man, his way. The guy's just got a way about him. Recruits felt that, and then he's a hell of a football guy too, and he put great people around him. Let's not forget, Fred Whittingham was up there on those sidelines. Everybody talks about Papa Fred's defense. Ron was smart enough to know that was something they could use.
Yeah, and that was the branches of Ron McBride, because everybody talks about the Kyle Whittingham defense. Well, it's the Fred Whittingham defense, as you mentioned. The Fred Whittingham defense was put in motion by Ron McBride. So I don't know, I'm trying to think of the branches of the Ron McBride tree run deep, and the roots of what he's built will always be a part of this state.
Well, you heard him talking like McGivern, right?
Yeah.
McGivern's a guy he knows and coached with. Gary Anderson, who's still a fixture in the state down at BYU. But everybody that's come up, all these coaches, Morgan played football here in the state of Utah. Kalani obviously grew up here and played in Provo. And then, it's Morgan right here in the Valley. So you've got a bunch of guys who have been influenced through the years by Mac, by all the people Mac hired. And so it's awesome. And I love that there's branches throughout all the programs too.
If you missed that conversation, it's there for you at KSLSports.com. You can also catch whatever podcasting platform you would like. Just search Scotty and the Coach on Spotify, Apple, whatever you're using, and you will get that conversation right there sent to your phone, your tablet, your computer, whatever the case might be. All we ask is that you leave a rating and a review, preferably a 5-star and preferably a nice review because Coach and I are sensitive. And we don't want to get our feelings hurt. And the 5 stars help us. Keep us
help. If you're going to go at somebody, go at me. I was a coach. It just goes right. I just go like this.
Or go after Lloyd.
Yeah, that's always legal.
I'll take it. Welcoming it.
All right, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. A little Sports Roulette coming up next.
Time to spin the wheel and talk some sports. This is Sports Roulette on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
All right, time for another edition of Sports Roulette. We take some of the big storylines, we put it on a roulette wheel, we spin it. Wherever that little ball lands is what we end up talking about, whether or not we want to or not. Lloyd is very, very fastidious with the roulette wheel. Wherever that ball lands, we have no choice.
He lifted it. It's very important to him.
Yeah,
it's the one thing in life he got away lifting.
He doesn't like pick up one side so it's it doesn't go on tilt and drop over on another side or anything like that.
Like
Stardust.
Stay honest.
Stardust.
Yes. No bueno. By the way, Lloyd went to the Days of 47 rodeo. Everybody came out of that thing healthy, though, right? No bull riders took a horn to the inside or anything like that.
We were
goring
a couple years ago.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah, you were there for that one.
Yeah, that guy got.
You saw gore?
Well, I saw a guy that was supposed to be jumping over. He was doing a little trick, jumping over the bull as it charged him, and the haunch of that thing got him in the back of the head, or the forehead, or whatever. Knocked him unconscious. I don't think he's doing that anymore. I don't think he's touring the country anymore.
I would not be up for any of those tricks.
No, not anything involving a bull. I'm good. I know the Portuguese like to do the running of the bulls.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
They do.
It's in your blood a little bit.
I went and witnessed it. I never had the to go out there and actually do it.
I'm surprised. I could see you being a running with the bulls guy, Coach.
I think you and I should wear bull costumes and chase him around here.
You can see him in a white outfit with a red scarf, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Just being like,
just because of my European connections.
Yeah, you call up a couple of your European buddies and just be like, "Hey, I want to run with the bulls."
I'm sure one of them's got to have a front row seat.
Where's the big one at? The big one's in Spain, right? Okay,
yes.
yeah.
So Portuguese. They actually have the bulls on essentially a rope, and they go from town to town each day. It's a different town, and they have it actually on a rope where it's somewhat in control, but not really, because you're never in control of one of those things.
No.
Now the one in Spain is those bulls are running just down the street on the loose.
When Texas was playing at BYU, I was doing sidelines for a national broadcast on that thing.
I know where you're headed.
And saw Bevo. And Bevo, majestic creature, tranked out of its mind. Like
most of the students at UT.
Yeah, honestly.
He's sitting there eating Cheetos. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that dude, and which for good reason. Nobody wants Bevo getting upset. They want Bevo as chill as he possibly can because
Ralphie, on the other hand, that thing's not tranked.
No, Ralphie got a little loose, and
Ralphie
that's why you got to keep Bevo under control with those horns. And so he looked like he was in a what was the singer I used? Fiona Apple concert or video, just messed up.
They probably gave him a gummy or something.
Oh, I'm sure. A lot of gummies.
Dog gummy. My cat there's gummies for cats.
There's gummies for cats?
Yeah, he just needed a little unwinding one day, and I was feeling like I may have given him a little too much. He was relaxed for a long time, but I kept checking to see if I could feel his little breath come through that snout.
Did he? Was he hitting you up for maybe a little Cheetos afterwards, or like?
Hey man, you got any mix? You got any cat mix for me?
You got any?
So hungry.
You got any catnip?
I'm dying for some catnip.
Just one hit. Just one hit.
Just give me one hit of that catnip. The running with the bulls in Spain, it's Pamplona.
Pamplona, that's right. That's right. All right, sports roulette. Let's get to it. Lloyd, fire up that wheel.
Red Sox about to make it 16 straight later tonight.
Wow, that's awesome, Coach.
6-3 in the seventh right now. This will be 15.
It's done. Yeah.
I don't. You guys keep jinxing this.
Is it a seventh?
I don't appreciate
with
this.
the day-night doubleheader. Is it like a 7-inning game, or are they going the full 9?
They're going full 9, full
Yeah,
Monte.
only the Bees do that.
Okay.
On those doubleheaders.
It'd be the full Monte. And I'm just looking to see. Yes, we are in the 7th. 7th is now over.
Okay.
Red Sox lead 6-3.
All right.
On a home run, one of the big home runs today by Ceddanne Rafaela, who's one of my favorites.
Nailed it.
Patrols the center field.
You know what's interesting about that guy?
Nothing.
Nothing. No, I'm just joking. That's an old throwback.
You know what's interesting about him? Nothing.
I'm sure there's something interesting about him. He had a home run today.
Yeah, he did.
All right, spin it.
No. So you got 15.
Yeah.
Guys,
15's in the bag.
I see what you're doing here.
So 16's coming up tonight, and then you open up that series against the shoe clerks of who?
The shoe clerks of Toronto.
Okay, so that'll be 17, 18,
That's
19.
on Friday. That would be on Pioneer Day. They're playing that specially for Pioneer Day.
Okay.
Finally going to get tested against the Dodgers.
They're supposedly coming into the stadium in covered wagons.
Yeah, because Toronto's big, strong LDS
Huge
community.
LDS community. Yeah. Carl Malone, that's one of the best stories ever about Pioneer Day when he thought the whole thing was for him.
That would be a little, if you had no idea what was going on here in Utah, you'd just been drafted, it's your birthday, and you're on a float coming down State Street, you'd be like, wow.
I can see how somebody might make a mistake, be like, this is pretty cool.
That's absolutely.
I'm going in there. I'm going into Friday with that thought. They're all here for me. It's my first one. I'm walking it.
Yeah.
With Lloyd, I hope.
I'm hoping to.
How's your shin? We never.
Yeah, by the way.
Is that on the? We should put that on the reel. Shin
talk about
update.
this off air?
No,
is it okay?
It's fine. No stress fracture.
You know what it is, though?
Yeah, and again, I was talking to John Edwards.
Lavelle's son,
who's an orthopedic guy. Also carved into, he's the one who did Bowler's shoulder, too. But he had there's a medical term for it, but it's like when it gets inflamed so much that it causes that grinding noise that you guys were
very unpleasant.
Were experiencing yesterday.
Oh, so it makes it sound and feel like a rubber band of some sort.
Well, that's the thing. My wife was with me, and I was like, "Oh, please be something serious. Please be something serious." Because you want to your wife knows you're in pain, and so you want to validate the pain you're going through, right?
That's pretty minor, actually.
And so he's like, "Well, it does hurt a lot," and like you could tell, like he was trying to help me out a bit. He's like, "Well, it can be really painful." I'm like, "It is," and my wife's like, "Is it?
Is it though?"
No, she's been awesome.
Does Jenny go?
No,
does she ever do that?
That's just a
That's
me
just
thing.
you.
That's just a me.
I've picked it up. It's hard not to.
Is it really? All right, spin it, Lloyd.
We're number 6.
Well, you might wonder who we are with ESPN. In all this time they have, we are in the armpit of the sports season.
Yeah, I'd say that's the Siberia.
Other than the Red Sox just absolutely kicking tail right now, there's not a whole lot else going on. So they ranked the NFL teams, they being ESPN, Aaron Schatz, by under 25-year-old talent. So who's got young talent just waiting to blossom?
Oh, they probably are slobbering all over the Patriots again.
Patriots number 1.
Yeah, I knew it.
With the blue chips being Will Campbell, Christian Gonzalez, Drake May, your favorite guy.
Yeah.
But I want to fast forward to number 6 because it is, Lloyd, it's our Raiders at number 6.
Oh, man, this is a good list.
With our blue chips of Brock Bowers, Genty, and, of course,
Fernando.
Do I dare say the name?
He hasn't taken a snap yet.
F. Mendoza. Where are the Broncos,
What
you might ask?
What did Mendoza do to you?
I'm going to scroll to, number 31. So they have no young players, very few young players.
Because we're experienced.
There are no blue chips on that roster. And
there's one blue chip. His name's Bo.
Well, he's not 25 and under.
Oh, well, that's even better.
Oh, and what says here, too, there's an asterisk he may not play this season. Jarrett Stidham taking most of the snaps.
Also, considerably over 25 is Jarrett Stidham.
Oh, okay.
Good old Captain Bo Nix.
So anyway, where we can,
one-legged pirate.
where we can, we take our wins. And Lloyd, that was a win for us.
Yeah, absolutely.
6 is way higher than 31.
I'm just waiting for you guys to make Def Leppard jokes about Bo Nix.
Nope. I leave the Def Leppard jokes for you.
All right.
Picking on him.
Number 31. That's all right. That means you got good quality experience there.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see how it plays out,
Our
Scotty.
guy Vinny Iyer, I told you, he had a story on it was actually off-season, who had the best off-season grades. Off-season grades, essentially.
Yeah.
Rams, number 1. Got an A. Listen to the same number. They were at an A. Las Vegas at an A as well, number 2.
I'm telling you.
Well, you got the number 1 overall pick.
Moving on up.
It's pretty hard to screw it up. I mean, you guys tried to screw it up by trading, your best pass rusher you've had.
Moving on up.
Since the last guy you had
There was
traded.
going to be some good picks that were in there. It was going to be worth it.
I guess. All right, spin it.
Curry exhibit in the hall.
There is a new exhibit in Springfield.
Like Curry as in the food?
No, you would think that, but no, this is Steph Curry. Phenomenal marksman and three-point shooter. The first time in history that an active player will have an exhibit about their craft. And so I think what Steph's done to the game, the way he's kind of opened it up and everything else, makes a lot of sense. And he's old enough to retire too. So,
yeah, and will certainly be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Changed the way the game's played. Certainly a total departure from, days of where you want to try to get as close as you can to the hoop. And he opened it up, spacing major thing in the game because of it. And so Steph Curry, if you get out there to Springfield, have you ever been to
I've not been to the Basketball Hall of Fame.
I have not.
Been there a couple times, and near the Dr. Seuss Museum in Springfield.
There's a Dr. Seuss museum.
Museum.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. It's awesome.
Got a little fried or green eggs and ham.
Green eggs and ham in the cafe.
Yeah. That would be delightful. I don't know what one would anticipate seeing at the Dr. Seuss Museum. A bunch of who's its and what's
Probably people walking around with those headphones. The headphone thing, I'm not a headphone guy. Are you? Like, when you go to a museum, do you take a step and listen to everything? Or are you just kind of like, I'm going to get my take on this place?
I'll do the headphones just because I want to be like, I don't want to leave anything up to interpretation a little bit. But I did it at Alcatraz. That's probably the last time I put the headphones on.
There were headphones options at the Baseball Hall of Fame a couple of years ago when I went, and I didn't use them. I just kind of took it on my own.
No, look, if you got like some good descriptions of everything you're seeing there, but if you're like seeing something you don't know what it is, it'd be kind of nice to give a little heads up there. But
I get that.
I did. Where was I at? What's the island in South Carolina where essentially the Revolutionary War started?
Oh,
not the Revolution, Civil War started. Anyway, I was out there, and they just had everything. Your phone was like geo-tracked. And so you would walk somewhere, and it would pop up a thing and be like, oh, you're looking at this right now, and this is what it is. I'm like,
Charleston,
yeah.
Fort Sumter.
Fort Sumter. Thank you very much. Beautiful area, by the way. Charleston, that's on my old list. I can see why Randy Ray packed up and said, I'm moving to South Carolina.
Yep, I've heard great stuff about it, too, and definitely an awesome spot. If you're, I don't know what their museums are like, but you get to that museum in Massachusetts, you'll see Curry. And not the food, the player.
All right. One more, Lloyd. Go ahead and spin it.
Oops. Our bad.
Our bad indeed. The Miami Heat representative, as we talked about this in the first segment of the show, but the Miami Heat have admitted that, yes, there was a post that they put up about an introductory press conference for LeBron James. Yes, it was for July 27th. Yes, they had a time listed. No, it was not on the basis, according to them, that LeBron James was indeed signing with the Miami Heat. It was that they were doing their due diligence in preparation in case he did sign. The spokesman told Shams over on ESPN that the club's social media department was simply preparing for the possibility of James signing and mistakenly posted the link to a team's YouTube page, which was quickly deleted. When asked about the time and the date specifically, they said, well, we needed to put a date in there as kind of a placeholder, so we just put that date and time in there. I think we can all safely say that if/when LeBron James does sign with the Heat, it will not be for that time. They will be moving that to a different day and time.
The Kalshi markets right this second. Miami is now 50%, Cleveland 26, Golden State 14. So they're not buying that it was a mistake.
Yes. Rich Paul of Clutch Sports said that they have not made a decision as of yet and that they will take their time in making a decision. This does feel like when Gordon Hayward got his story posted or something was posted on, what was it, ESPN or something, that he was going to go to Boston, and then it got pulled down, and he said, oh, no. I'm still considering my options. I'm not sure where that came from. And then, of course, later he went to Boston. And he just needed time to finish off his Players Tribune story about why he was going to Boston.
Yeah, but he just had to wait for the actual information, signatures, all that. Then you can say it.
And which fine, whatever.
We are just waiting for him to say Miami. I fully believe it. I don't think, as you look at it, Golden State's got enough. And I just think at the end of the day, he's been to Cleveland. He lived there, been there, done that. How could you
do you want to go back?
Do any better?
You weren't there twice. One time you got drafted. You had no choice. You went to Cleveland. The second time you chose to go back to win a title for your city that you grew up in, which you did. Now, why go back? Like, go to Miami. Go where it's warm. Don't go. I mean, look, there's no appeal. All you can do is just tick off people more because you're not going to win a title. So their lasting impression of you wearing one of their jerseys is you not doing well and James Harden shooting you out of every playoff game. So it's a no-win situation. Don't do it. And I don't think you will. So, yeah, it looks like a strong chance it's going to be Miami. And I anticipate that announcement will come back, next day or two?
Probably next September, the way it's going. Rich Paul, actually, this just got posted, says LeBron James saying trust the process is actually a bad thing for the Sixers. That's a negative thing. That's not a positive thing. Trust the process wasn't a positive thing. That's the worst thing you can do. Trust the process. It's the worst thing you can do. Where's the value in that?
Well, he's not wrong. It's not like Philadelphia won any championships over that.
Yeah, they trusted it. The big fella didn't cooperate.
No. All right, we'll wrap up this bad boy next. 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Scott Garrard, the coach, Tim LaComb, Jake and Ben coming up at 2 o'clock right here on the Zone.
Ladies and gentlemen, the biggest name.
You're locked on to Scotty G and the coach, Tim LaComb, presented by Mountain Land Supply on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Scotty G and the coach, Tim LaComb, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
This is what's happened when you're abandoned. You have to have someone step in and take care of you.
It's good to see you, Tim.
Is it hot in there? Abandoned.
I don't know what Scotty's doing, so no problem. I'll bring it in.
We just thought we'd get rolling. I mean, you're a busy man.
The Freebird is a long song, but I think we were almost to the end of her.
The solo was.
This is the second day in a row. Do you lighten up the brakes on that last one, or?
No, they're pretty normal.
Okay, my bad. That's my fault.
Hey, it's good to see you, bro.
Good to see you as well. Good to see Jake, more importantly. How
Thank
are
you,
you,
Jake?
sir?
I'm feeling quite short. Why do we have these short chairs in here?
It's like the I don't know. They want that one thing where the people
We just
look
want to
down
dominate
on
on them.
Oh yeah, I am kind of intimidated. Maybe
We
I
had
should-
Gino in that chair, and I was just staring him down, like, "Don't get out of line."
Yeah, Gino looked like he could still whoop it.
Yeah,
most
no,
people.
I wouldn't mess with Gino.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mac was good today.
Mac's always good.
He is always good.
He's just, I mean, look, we're just going to be doing Football Fridays until forever. Like, Mac's not going anywhere.
We learned today Frank Dolce's back with us again for Utah football shows. We're excited about.
That's too bad.
And
I mean, it comes with a lot of arrogance.
And his condescending laugh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know my Frank story that I had done shows with Frank. He'd come on the air with me and all this, and I ran into him in Park.
Not to introduce yourself.
I ran into him in Park City, and I was like, he was in the at the table next to me. Hey, Frank, good to see you. How's it going, man? No idea who I was. Had no clue. Like I was some Frank fan.
Sorry to bother you, but could you sign my napkin
I
with
think
your
he
Puerto
threw
Rican?
his keys at him as he was
entering
the building.
It's like, hey, there's a quarter in there for you if you give it a nice little wax.
Park that car.
You wash it. It's unbelievable. And Frank's defense to that is that I knew who he was. I just didn't want to talk to him. So that's actually even worse.
But I did turn around, and my wife was like, he had no idea who you were, did he? I was like, nope, I don't think he did.
I've been there, and just kind of like, oh, let's forget that happened.
Yeah.
That's funny. No, Frank's great. He's been doing stuff with us on the station how long now?
Ever since he got done dirty by the U. So I can't remember. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a long time. No,
Yeah.
Frank's great.
By the way, is there an announcement that's been made yet? Nope. Okay, we'll keep that.
The man likes a milkshake.
He does like milkshakes. He does like, and that's the problem is that he would like to bring a lot of food, a lot of milkshakes to shows, and those days are kind of in the rearview mirror. So now he's upset about that.
I haven't seen Scotty put anything in his mouth.
That's not. I just had some M&Ms, man. They're delightful.
Yeah, but you didn't do it in front of me.
No, Frank's an eater.
Oh yeah, that dude's got a metabolism like a hummingbird.
If you've ever done a post game or something like that with Frank, that dude is eating food. But no, isn't he a spinner or something like that?
Yeah, he teaches spinning classes. Yeah.
Oh, he does?
Spinning. Yeah, they're not bike classes. They're spinning classes.
I bet he has the coolest outfit in the room.
And his playlist, Shakira, Britney, little T-Swizzle.
I've really got my workout routine down to a science. It's alarm goes off, and it's that walk between my bed and the shower. That's what I'm getting right now.
Get that heart rate really pumping.
And then I park at the end of the garage down there and walk as far as I can, and that's about the extent.
Pretty good.
Yeah, I like it. I'm adopting your routine.
It's a pretty good regimen.
Why would you go run? Someone chasing you?
Why are we calling it a fun run? Because there's nothing fun about that.
Oh, I tell people about hiking. I love to hike. Why that's walking? The hiking is
walking
just walking.
Uphill.
You're giving it a different name. It's still walking.
See, this is I've changed a lot of beliefs. Basically being sequestered. We're the jury.
Yeah.
82 days in a room.
Those philosophies will rub off on you.
82 days in a room, and by the end, oh man, we're about brain dead.
I'm glad Christian isn't over there because he never gets any references. But remember the third Back to the Future where he goes back to the West?
Yeah.
And he's talking to him about running. They're like, these Nikkei, what are these for? And he's like, for running. And they're like, why would you run? And it's like, for fun. And the guy's like, run for fun.
You should get a T-shirt with that, with a question mark. Oh man.
You got a busy show?
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Well, we're in the heat of it.
No, as you were just talking about,
this is the fun time of year.
It's the desert.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the desert. But you know what I like? I like this time because you can kind of get away with stuff.
Oh yeah.
Which is
kind of
the best time
for sure.
Yeah. I mean, heavy news is great because you always have something to talk about. But like we were talking about Ed Harris clowning his own TV show yesterday because what's that guy's name? Taylor Sheridan.
Oh yeah.
He's in the Dalton Ranch reboot. You know what show I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And Ed gets interviewed somewhere, and he's talking about how much he hated doing the show. He called his agent to get him out of there. He's just unhappy, and he's airing it all with this guy who's interviewing him. And then he even goes to leave and comes back, and then at the end, at one point, he's like, they told me that I was going to do a song and I was going to sing, and then describes like the scene in the show, and they recorded it all. And he's like, and they cut it out. And so he's so mad because they cut his musical number, which seems crazy.
Ed Harris?
From Ed Harris.
And by the way, he plays a veterinarian, I think, on the movie or on the show.
Why is Ed, you should just be glad you're working, man.
Ed Harris not like a Broadway star. Why is he so mad about his song getting cut?
Imagine it was a beauty.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, Apollo 13, Ed Harris, like the accomplished actor Ed Harris. He's like, they cut out my number. I hate these guys.
Oh, where?
He even admitted, he's like, I even watched the show, and you know what? The show was pretty good, and I kind of liked my character, but
just thrashes on it.
Oh,
kind of funny. But you get to talk about that kind of crap.
See, God bless America.
Yeah,
Nothing wrong
right.
with that. And you know what? We all know your show is great because of you.
Oh, yeah, well, obviously. Just like, the Kentucky
Will
coach?
Stein.
Yeah, Will Stein.
Yeah, I heard you guys talking about, I brought that up with David James. I ran into him yesterday and was chatting with him, and he was defending Will Stein. I couldn't believe it. He's like, well, that's you got to have that attitude because they pay. That's why you make all the money. And I was like, oh,
Yeah,
all
but
right.
you don't say it, though.
All right.
Why are you going to be better? Well, this guy right here.
And you certainly don't say it after you. It'd be one thing if Nick Saban said it.
Yeah. And it's like you have not coached a single second there.
No.
That will be the first year you go 4-8. That will be played over and over and over again.
You
and it
deserve
should
that.
be, yeah.
Just like Dan Hawkins deserved the Big 12.
The Big 12.
And Old Gundy deserved the
I'm 40.
I'm 40. That's what you get for giving into your impulse.
Yep.
And lighting up the media.
Jake and Ben coming up next. 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.